We're live, 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 we are alive, we are alive, we are alive, we are alive. Guys, the Champions League is done. The Champions League is done. Liverpool are officially the 2019 Champions League winners. So, you know what, guys? I'm going to build up because there is some heat, and it's because guys, I'm going to be very real. I'm warning you, I'm going to be very real because I am tired of holding my tongue. You see, when I was younger, I had to hold my tongue based on where I was and the situation I was in. Stuff has changed. The game's changed. I've got the mic now. I've got the platform now. This is my platform. This is my thing now. So I don't care who the hell comes for me. I will say whatever the hell I want. So any media people, The Guardian, BT Sports, the FA, the Queen, Buckingham Palace, you could do whatever, you can do everything you want. I am going to go so real on what the hell just happened. So I'm going to get there, don't worry. But let's build up to that because trust me, I'm going to go in. And I don't care what anyone says. Inductions are happening tonight. They're happening tonight. But let's start with Liverpool. Let's just be real here. That was okay. Yeah, no, okay. Basically, we'll go down the room. But let me just start by saying that was a crap final. The football quality was completely and utterly garbage. 100%. But it's not how you win. It's whether you win or not, and that's the only thing that truly matters. And your boys, Liverpool, they came up big. You know, they came up big and they managed to win when it's truly mattered. So, let's start off with your boy Mane. Okay, no. Mane. Correct me if I'm wrong. Aren't you supposed to have a Liverpool logo on your thing?
Yeah. Let's laugh. Let's laugh before I tell you. The hero called it off before the final.
I can be. He's right.
I hear you, idiot.
Exactly. So thank you for his lack of confidence in his rigging.
Okay, cool. Okay, so Mane. So again, review the game. So how do you view the game overall?
For me, it was a very poor game, very boring. What I said was going to happen happened. Liverpool's midfield was non-existent, created no chances. Robertson and Arnold could barely do anything. Especially Arnold was confused if he was going to mark Dele Alli because Dele Alli kept dropping in and pushing up. So it was a little bit confused then. But overall, that wasn't a penalty for me. It hit his chest and hit his arm after. So I don't know what he's supposed to do, cut off his arm or something. Origi's goal, fair enough. It was a decent goal. But overall, it was probably the worst final I've ever seen and the worst refereeing I've ever seen. But yeah.
Okay. Oh, so Supercharged from Celsius Pani says, is Origi a chief Oga already? Bro, he's close. He's close. Nish, thoughts on the game overall? Like, where did Liverpool go right? Where did Tottenham go wrong?
Yeah, so I think the penalty at the beginning of the game completely changed the shape of the game, bro.
It wasn't. Don't use the penalty as an excuse, bro. Don't do that. It's 2019. Don't do that. Don't do that, bro.
It's not an excuse, but from a tactical thing, the Liverpool could completely take over the game from that point because they can just sit back and then counter attack and eventually they did get the second goal. I think attacking players from both teams, with the exception of maybe Salah with the penalty and Origi with the goal, the attacking players on both teams were pretty average. So, it was a very average final. I think Liverpool probably was a slightly better team. I mean, they were a little bit more clinical. I think Robertson was causing a lot of problems to Tottenham, going forward. So, yeah, I think the better team won, but overall, yeah, it's a very poor final, yeah.
All right. Christ, thoughts on the final, bro? FG.
Yeah.
Okay, Christ. Yeah, thoughts on the final. Come on, be quick. Thoughts on the final.
I thought Liverpool played better, man. So
why are you whispering?
Yo, speak up, bro. Speak up, bro. We can't hear. Speak up. Okay. FG. Talk. FG. Thoughts on.
Yeah.
This was the worst final I've seen in my life, and
Whoa,
Liverpool.
easy, relax. What the hell? What do you?
It was, man. And what do you call it? Yeah, Liverpool, man. I'm surprised how shit they were today. They were so bad, yet they won. Tottenham, on the other hand, they played good, but they on the final third they were so bad. Ali and Son, they were just missing the final touch. Kane, non-existent, and Pochettino. I mean, he showed me why he's a fraud. Same thing with Kane. Kane's a fraud too.
Okay, cool. Just because we will get there separately.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Overall, I thought the best players on the pitch were Van Dijk, Matip, and Winks. Yeah, and pretty much. Yeah, Liverpool deserved it, even though they played bad.
Okay. Forward. Thoughts on this Champions League final, bro? Hazem. Thoughts on the final, Hazem.
He did it, man. He did it. The boy did it. The Egyptian king.
Oh God.
Icon.
Hazem, stop. Don't do it.
Come on, man. He did it. I mean, people are gonna say it's a penalty. Who cares? But come on. Penalty is a penalty. You have
Okay. Hazem, in all honesty, are you gonna say that Salah deserves the headlines over Origi?
What? Or what did Origi? Origi came on and scored as well. But a penalty, the mental aspect is so much harder, man. In the final Champions League final, you're taking a penalty. Everyone's watching you, the whole of Egypt, the whole of the world, and you do it so calmly, right down the middle. Amazing run up.
You're clutching at straws, but carry on, man.
And Salah showed up. He proved all the haters wrong. I love to see it, and he proved the haters wrong. Okay, now moving on to the game. Look, man, it was a horrible game, I have to say.
Damn.
Liverpool started with a high line, but even with the high line, they weren't creating anything. They were just relying on those over the head balls, long balls. I don't know why. They had no direction in their attacks. And Tottenham, obviously, they did what was advised, which was just to start off a bit more conservative. But they failed to create the chances needed. And in the second half, they started to create more chances, take more risks, but it wasn't enough. And Liverpool's defense, you have to give it to them. This season, my goodness, they've been unbelievable. Matip, Van Dijk. Obviously, Matip needs to get some credit because
for sure, great, yeah.
Going to Van Dijk, but Matip, come on, man, this guy can be. We needs to be talked about as well, and maybe top 5, top 10 for Ballon d'Or. So yeah, man. Overall. Look, man, in terms of players, I have to give, other than Van Dijk, Matip, and Salah, no one really performed. Tottenham side, Son was trying to do stuff, but I think the defense prepared very well for Son, and Son wasn't getting enough support. Pochettino made the biggest mistake with not starting Moura.
We'll get there. No, Hazem, don't ruin the surprise.
Okay, fine. Overall, Tottenham just didn't have enough goods to beat Liverpool, and Liverpool had the determination to do it. They just edged it in deserving it to win, but not convincing. But they did what they had to do, and they deserve the Champions League. They deserve the 6th Champions League, and now they're one closer to us. Hopefully, they don't win it next time. And yeah, congrats Liverpool. Congratulations.
Okay. No, but before I get to Juma, relax. I know you're ready to watch. Chill. Chill. Okay. Super chat. So Rodrigo Velarde, thank you for the super chat. He says Hazem and Mane are the 2 most biased people in here. Okay.
I'm not biased.
That's not the hash, but there you go. And this is a super chat from I don't know who this is. They don't really give a name. Okay, Dots. I'll call you Dots. This was the 4th final I've ever seen in my life. You're telling me I'm supposed to believe these are the 2 best teams in Europe? No way. I never want to see 2 English teams in a final ever again. Damn. That is. Look, honestly, like it is not the greatest adverts for the Premier League. I'll give you that. And Saswat Pani, another super chat, says Van Dijk's tackle on Son was the best moment. Interesting. All right, Jujuman, review the game and don't ruin the surprise. Don't talk about Poch or Kane because we are saving that. Talk about the game as a whole.
So with this game, I think Tottenham played really well. I think they played really well, except from one person that we'll talk about.
I know.
And because people will mention, players played really, like some players were like example, people will say Dele Alli was missing, but at least he did something. Unlike
Bro, don't ruin the
I-
surprise.
oh yeah, but I would say but I mean, with Tottenham they played really well. The players did well. Apart from I won't discuss. We'll talk about Tottenham, and then for Liverpool, I mean, is this team like the one concern I have about Liverpool is the best team won first of all, and the one concern is once they were ahead, they didn't do anything. Like they just I don't know. Like this is probably one of the worst performances I've ever seen by Liverpool. And what's it called? The one problem they had the entire game was Alexander Arnold didn't. There were two people, Son and Dele Alli on Alexander Arnold, and that was the problem. Matip I think did amazing. Matip I think most improved player or in this whole tournament is Matip. I think he's probably solidified that.
Yeah, he's been huge.
Solidified the position, and then what's it called? Firmino flopped. I mean, Firmino flopped, and Origi. I think if I was Salah, I would be concerned about Origi because he's taking his opportunities, and I saw Salah. I think he's wasteful. He's wasteful. I know he's probably he's a wasteful player. He wastes. He gets a lot of chances, and he's a bit wasteful. And Mane was silent second half. As for Tottenham, what's his name? For Tottenham, Winks had a good game. Danny Winks had a good game. I now see why he gets selected for England because he had a good game. I mean, Trippier going forward was good. He had the energy. Danny Rose was all right, and the backline, Tottenham's backline was good. And I mean, I can wait to talk about Pochettino. But that's it. I can wait to talk about his decision.
We'll just end it like that. We'll end it like that because Muntaha. Just round up. Your general feeling about the game. Don't go into too many specifics because we will get to specifics soon. But just round up. Round up a little bit.
Yeah. HH. Like, did I witness Champions League final or Carabao Cup final? Like,
wait. What did he say? What did he say?
Did we witness Carabao Cup final, bro?
That's hard. That's hard.
No. Congrats. No. Wait. Liverpool deserve this win. Too much. Look, Liverpool deserve this win, man. Come on.
Oh my god.
Not even FA Cup, you know.
No. I mean, it's a shame. Oh god.
Karen, sorry. Ignore me. Karen.
Man, it's like 22 donkeys, bro, playing in the finger. Oh my god.
This is too much for Dom.
Oh god.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay. Man, come on, man. Like, for me, man of the match for this game is obviously goes to Jurgen Klopp, man, because he knows that I can win this game on first and second gear. So why should go for third, fourth, and fifth, bro? Like, that's like quite smart move from Klopp. Thirdly, me and Juju man discussed this thing. I think so. There is going to be controversy in this game, and that's what exactly happened. Look, I have a problem over here. Okay, if you see from the first angle, it was a penalty. Okay, but why we have VAR for that? We have VAR to go into depths and specific details. Okay, now from the second angle, when you watch that, ball first slightly hit his chest.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it hits arm. Okay. So, like in the normal condition, it's a penalty. But if you go into details, that's why we have VAR technology. Why they didn't use that?
No, because I thought that they would use VAR. That's what I thought that they're checked on the VAR. And
bro, hate it. You have to see from here as well. Look, okay. If you're going if you're giving that call on 23rd second of the game.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Come on, you have to be.
That's early. That's early.
That's not early, bro. That's like I haven't witnessed in my whole freaking life ever. Yeah.
You have to
like
be sure.
23rd second final. This is Champions League final. He should have gone to the VR screen and should have at least by himself should take that effort to watch that thing. But he didn't do that, and it killed the momentum of Liverpool, man. That's it, man. On the overall thing,
Tottenham.
yeah, and I don't want to discuss right now about the Tottenham details.
Oh no!
We'll do it later on.
Just chill. No, we are leaving now. Just chill. Wait, before I go to neutral, super chats from the Bad Elf. He says, "Tell the City fan to change his profile to Liverpool for a year, like he agreed to do." Well,
Listen, I have to say, how many times do I have to say this? The Here himself called it off way before 2 weeks before the game because he didn't believe Liverpool would win. So I don't have to change nothing.
Okay. You know, Manny, I actually don't believe you, but fair
No,
enough.
I was there.
Wait. All right, okay. Neutral thoughts on the game review. Keep it brief.
Okay. All I'm gonna say is everyone care about this joke club Barcelona anymore.
Wait, is this hardcore?
Oh my god. Yeah,
Barcelona.
Carry on.
Okay. So I never want to hear about this joke club, Barcelona.
Oh my
I don't want to hear about Bayern Munich. Neither do I even want to hear about any other team that is below Liverpool's 6 UCLs. I said this. Liverpool by far is the best team in the Premier League, and they've been for the past century because they have the most UCLs.
Yes.
But again, I would say for the game, this is the worst finals I've ever seen in my whole entire life. The worst UCL finals I've seen is this one. No, I said it in the previous Hangout. No chance. No chance for Spurs, and it happened. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's sad. It doesn't. It kind of makes me feel down about the UCL now. But all I can say is I just hope there's light in the tunnel for the UCL because we need Real Madrid and Bayern Munich back. This is yeah.
Okay, so quickly round up. So
okay. So all I'll say is congrats Liverpool. They did well. The most easiest finals you could win, and Van Dijk is gonna win the Ballon d'Or. I agree.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So basically, before I go to the original base, super chats from the Rebecca Black. Thank you for the super chats. Who says, "Would you rather have seen Barcelona or Ajax play?" Now, let me say this before I go to original base. I don't care about Barcelona and Ajax. They messed up. So Tottenham and Liverpool deserve to be in the final, but Barcelona Ajax would have been a better final to watch. But all because it would have been a better final doesn't mean that they should have been in the final. No, the guys who got there deserve to be in there. But Barcelona Ajax, I feel, footballing wise, would have been a much more entertaining final. So original base, round us off. Just quick general thoughts on the game overall.
Oh my god, what was this final? I can't believe what I watched. I think this is worse than, was it Atletico Madrid 2016?
Yeah.
Like this. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to Pochettino's decision making. Like,
No, chill, man. We're not going to get the game off, man. What the hell? Just want to get them, man.
Trippier has to be inducted tonight. Trippier has to be inducted. That guy cannot defend for his life. Danny Rose had a decent game. I'm not gonna lie. Danny Rose did well. Like, he was trying to. This is what Luke Shaw should be. Luke Shaw should be what Danny Rose is. This is the worst. This is the worst feeling as a United fan. Both rivals have won trophies, and we're there figuring out if we're gonna sign Delete or not. Like, this game, like, I probably would have gone to sleep if I didn't have my brother there.
So just general thoughts. Just round up your general thoughts on the game. Just general thoughts.
Spurs bottled it. I had high hopes that Spurs could have done something today, and they did nothing. Wasted chances, no production in the final third. What can you say? Liverpool deserved it.
Okay.
Wait, just to add one more comment.
Where's the Liverpool?
I think
on
the game.
Brief.
Based on this, I think UEFA should stop the same country finals. Like, finals should never be the same country because we have had two disasters finals. The same country.
Let's just be real right now. I remember Real Madrid Valencia. That was a pretty useless final.
Yeah.
Which Real Madrid won 3-0, I believe. That final was useless. Bayern Dortmund wasn't a great final.
Bayern
Dortmund won. It wasn't a great final. This is the worst final that I've ever seen.
And Atleti.
So I don't know how, but I feel that they should stop these two same teams because this was Super Sunday.
Same thing happened with Juve Milan in 2003, 0-0.
Yeah,
was
thank
worse.
you. It's an event.
And
So-
you've Madrid against
Actually,
Atleti
Adam.
2016,
Thank you.
another
Mama
boring
Madrid,
game.
both of those games weren't great. Madrid Atletico, both of those games weren't. So yeah, I mean, yeah, look, I mean, but look, it is what it is. All right. All right. Okay. So where do we? So wait, forward. Is your mic working there?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no.
Very briefly, just give us your brief thoughts about the game overall, and then don't get too specific. Just your brief overall thoughts on the game.
Yeah, first and foremost, congratulations to Liverpool, 97 points, and they did get a trophy, so fair play to them. This wasn't Super Sunday, guys. This was rugby union. This was horrific football. I mean, the amount of long balls we saw today was egregious, honestly. Again, I don't see why people are pandering towards Tottenham, saying that all these people played well. No, the only person that played well was Winks, if that, and he was the only one trying to play football in that midfield. Everybody else was on some rugby thing, an American football thing. It was shocking. It was horrific. It was horrendous to watch. We're gonna get onto that striker. That we're gonna have a conversation about him. But even
The
still,
best in the
Son,
world.
Man, shut up.
we're gonna see.
Finish your point. Finish your point.
I mean, nobody. Actually, I'm not gonna get into it. But look, no, I mean, people are not even mentioning the fact that Son was quite poor. I feel like he tried, but again, he didn't have the input. Again, for me,
He wasn't poor.
Okay.
That's when you don't understand the football.
He had no support. He had no support.
Let's rewind. Let's rewind. So Son, decent, but the guy you call the sun rises in the east. I mean, that guy didn't show up today. The guy that has been hyped to me as meant to be the best player when Kane isn't there.
Double H. He had two one-on-ones.
Because I will respond, but finish your point.
Again, he missed 2 1-on-1s. When he got past Van Dijk, that was his chance to hit the shot, but he let Van Dijk catch him, which was quite surprising to me. Again, I don't think like he was terrible, but again, for the hype that he gets, he wasn't amazing anyways. Dele Alli was absolutely trash. Eriksen, nobody talks about Eriksen, how rubbish this guy's been the last couple of months. It's been actually horrific. So again, there's a lot more people than just the striker who we'll get onto that were poor today, but again, it was a very poor performance for Tottenham. And Liverpool, I think Tottenham was so bad, they made Liverpool complacent. That's how bad they were, but anyways, we'll get onto it.
Okay, so basically, just quickly, just to respond to your point about Son, you see, for me, I give Son full marks for what he did, because what he did was, it's a psychology. In that game they're playing, this is where you have to look about football, where it's a difficult game. You're playing against a very difficult side, and your team is playing like crap. But Son, realizing that it's a final, was the only guy trying to force the issue. So it's a mentality thing. And sometimes in football, you may not get that lucky bounce or lucky control, but he was the only guy that was trying to make something happen. And he was the only attacker that Tottenham had. So for his mentality and approach in a final, I'm like, no, boom, give it to him. Because look, Son ain't Messi. Son ain't Neymar. Son ain't Hazard. Son ain't an Mbappe. So that's
okay. Wait. Here's my.
No. Wait. We're not dwelling on that point. Cool. Okay, guys. Now, during my preview, no, let's rewind. Chill. I'm young one. I will get your bloody super chat. Just chill. Let me get this out there. I'll get your super chat, man. Chill. Harry Kane before this game had not played 2 months of competitive football. 2 months of not competitive football. Point 1. Point 2, Lucas Moura scored a hat-trick in 1 half to get you to the final. That's the second point. Third point is, if you're a manager who knows tactics, you would know that, this is a final. I need to get my lineup right. Liverpool already know what their lineups are. I need to get my lineup right. And going up against Liverpool's side, the thing that will give them problem is movement and speed. I spoke to Liverpool fans. Liverpool fans told me that, man, I hope that they start Harry Kane, because that will be easy for Van Dijk and Matip. They will just have an easy day all day. The worst thing is if they start Moura and Son, that is movement and speed that's going to be very tricky to deal with. But not only did Pochettino start Kane, he played the whole 90 minutes. Harry Kane is crap. The guy's rubbish. The guy's overrated. English media saying all this stuff about Golden Boy. Here is your Golden Boy. No, don't see. Harry Kane loses both ways. For me, if I speak to Harry Kane and say you were crap in that game, but if Harry Kane now says, "Oh, look, I was tired. I wasn't fully fit," then you are an irresponsible prick. Because if you knew that you weren't fully fit, you should have declared yourself. Say, look, the final. I'm on fix. I can't play. So either way, you lose. Either you're a brick and you're crap because that was a disgraceful performance for a striker in a final, or you are an irresponsible prick for declaring yourself fit when you knew that Mura was fully fit and would have done a much better job than you. Pochettino for me has undone everything that every good thing that he has done so far this season, because you pretty much you were you pussied out. You were a pussy.
Yeah.
Because you bought into that crap, useless English media crap of Harry Kane being this superstar player that must play. If Messi hasn't played for 2 years, I start him. Because that's Messi. If Messi hasn't kicked a ball, has not left his bed for 2 years, and I'm playing a final, I'm putting Messi in that final because it's bloody Messi. Because I'm like, who knows what this is? Harry Kane is not an iota of what Messi's ability is. And via this decision, because I was watching that game, I was like, these guys, Tottenham play with 10 players. This guy's playing like garbage. He's playing like total garbage. And Van Dijk and Matip, in my opinion, probably had their easiest game. But you see, before Lucas Moura came on, Van Dijk and Matip had their easiest game they've had all season. In a final, Van Dijk and Matip were defending in their sleep because Harry Kane was literally doing nothing, and Son was the only guy who was doing something in attack. So my question to the panel is this: why do you think that Pochettino started Harry Kane? Now, before I go to Mane, let me just do the super chat. So, Young One, super chat, he says, can't believe Sissoko won Sports Player of the Season after what I watched today. Good player, but too inconsistent. Son was the only one for that team. Actually, for me, Sissoko was actually one of Tottenham's bright spots in that game. Here I have the greatest game, but he's actually one of their bright spots. So, Manny, why do you think that Pochettino was a brick and started a brick in that game called Harry Kane?
I mean, first of all, you have an agenda against Harry Kane. We all know that. You never rooted against. You always rooted against him. So that's why you're very excited with that speech. But other than that, I mean, Harry Kane is the best striker in the world. Okay, so if he's half injured, if he has one leg, he's gonna start. Okay, it's not a question of when. It's just he's gonna start. Can he play? Yes. If he says yes, he starts. And other than that, I mean, look at Mane. Mane was okay. I give it to him. He was smart enough to realize the referee is a fool to give away a penalty like that. Mane, okay, I'll give him. He's a smart player. Salah and Firmino. I think Firmino was much worse than Kane. Firmino did absolutely nothing the whole game. At least Kane, second half, he had good effort running around. At least he was the first half. You could say, fair enough. You're granted he had almost no effort, no running around, nothing. Second half, he had a little bit of effort. I see him in midfield. He even tracked back to covering Mane in the second half. So I think you're going a little bit too harsh on Kane. But overall, the Spurs team, I don't think you can say anybody was that much better than Kane. Honestly, Kane.
Yeah.
The only thing you can say against Kane is that he didn't put enough effort. That's it. Don't say he wasn't good enough or anything. And granted, even if you had put Moura in early, who says he was going to do anything? I mean, the game ended when the referee gave him the penalty, the 26 seconds. So even putting Moura in, it doesn't change anything. And as well as that, it's not all Pochettino's failure. Klopp started with Firmino, nobody's saying nothing because they rigged the game and won. But because Kane started and they ended up in the bad result, of course, you have an agenda, you're going to bang onto that. As if that's the reason they lost. They lost because of the penalty, not because Kane played. So let's just be honest. Salah did nothing the whole game. He missed so many chances.
You said because of the penalty.
Okay.
Mane,
yeah. Actually, Mane, the penalty wasn't the only goal scored. Origi also scored as well.
Yeah, if you start with a disadvantage, obviously you're going to lose.
All right. Nish, why do you think Pochettino started Kane?
Oh yeah, dude. Like, first of all, like I think Mane actually was spot on in most of everything what he said just now. I mean, to be honest, because I'm not going to repeat anything he said, but like a lot of it was actually I agree with. So I'm going into Pochettino's thought process behind starting Kane. What I would have done personally was start Moura and then bring Kane off the bench in the second half as an impact sub. That would have been better. But going into his thought process, I think what he was trying to do is that. Replicate what PSG did to Liverpool in the group stage, which was really the only game this season where I think Liverpool actually got badly exposed tactically. And what they did was they put two strikers and one striker, and each striker was in between the fullback and the center half. When you do that, it contracts the back four and it opens up the wings. Then you overload the wings and you put crosses in and you score. That's the best way to beat Liverpool because they congest the midfield with Brexit, so it's very difficult to cut them open through the middle. So what he was trying to do, I think, was play like Ali and Son between the fullback and the center half, and then use Ali and Kane, sorry, and between the fullback and the center half, and then use Son to overload the Liverpool's right hand side, Tottenham's left hand side. But the problem is that Kane, like you said, he's not very fit. So maybe starting Mora would have been better. But honestly, I really doubt because Liverpool's early goal, and if you look at it also, Mora, even when he came on in the second half, really didn't do much, and Tottenham hardly created any good chances in this game, so I don't think it would have changed anything.
All right, so just super chat here from Ahmed, who says not even tweets on Mo winning the AFCON, he gets the door.
Yes, if he wins AFCON, he's getting it.
No. I mean, the Nations Cup, then I think there's a very good chance of him getting the Ballon d'Or. Yeah, for sure, 100%. And super chats from Dots. I don't know. Do you have a name? Dots says Man City is the best team in the world. I don't care who won the Champions League. No team in the world play better than them this season. If they were the best, they would have won the Champions League, which is the elite competition. So
well, it was rigged against us. But go on.
Right, man. I don't know. FG, why do you think Pochettino started Harry Kane the brick?
I mean, it's always been known as Harry Kane FC. I mean, this has always been Harry Kane's team. The media knows it. I think Pochettino was thinking, if I don't start Harry Kane and we lose, they'll blame it on him. So he took the risk. It failed. And his in-game manager, Pochettino's in-game manager, is horrendous. I don't think he'll ever be a world-class manager. There's a reason why he's at Spurs and has no trophies.
Damn.
Small club for a small manager like him. And Kane, I think he's done. I don't think he'll ever be world-class again. He's the main reason why Tottenham will never win the Champions League. I hope he knows that.
Wow. Damn. Okay. Forward, man. Why did Poch start Kane, man?
So Kane was in training since last Monday, I believe. So I think it was about 10, but it makes about 13 or 14 days of him being in training. So he was always gonna play him. Would I have played him? Obviously not. I feel like he would have been a good impact player to have off the bench. And then when you looked at the games that Tottenham have played, like Liverpool in this season, there's always been the fast players that have been able to give them issues, even though they lost both of those games. Kane never really was a main protagonist in actually making anything happen in those games. So I feel like it would have been wise to bring him off the bench. I feel like that would have been a nice mental boost for them to see Kane coming off the bench when they were obviously a goal down in the last 20 minutes. If Kane's coming off the bench, that kind of gives Liverpool players that kind of sense of doubt. Maybe, Kane's coming onto the pitch. What could he do now? But it looked like he was just trying to protect himself and save himself for the whole 90 minutes, which he did. But he didn't really have much of an effect. Again, he didn't get any chances created for him. So you could also say that he didn't get any chances created for him. But at the same time, wait, don't cut me off. Wait. Just like Lewandowski was very ineffective against Liverpool, we also have to be critical and say Kane didn't do anything himself.
Oh, he got no service. Come on, get out of here.
That's the point I'm trying to make. So just as we were critical about Lewandowski, I'm being consistent here. We have to criticize Kane and say that he didn't do enough to create himself any chances or to do much in the game. Obviously, where Son got chances, he wasn't as clinical and he didn't have that end product that you would like for, again, the sun rises in the east. But hey, again, as I said, Tottenham are a great team. They were very lucky and fortunate to get to the final. They got their fair play to them. But hey, this is the history of the Tottenham. And we know what happens there. So it is what it is.
Hazem, why did he start the brick?
Look, man, I said this in the previous hangout. If the only chance Tottenham had was to have Mora and Son, which would cause a lot of problems for Van Dijk and Matt.
I agree.
Because they wouldn't be able to have just a target man that they can focus on and limit. Which by starting Kane, you're just playing into Liverpool's advantage, which is their defensive phase, just marking the main focal points out, and therefore Tottenham were trying to create everything and lead it to Kane, long balls, and it just wasn't working. So as to why Pochettino did it, it's really tough to understand, but I guess it's because of the having that big name in the final, and I guess his reasoning would also be Kane has experiences in big world games, World Cup. He played in big World Cup games, so I guess he thought he would take that experience and maybe be decisive in this game. But it's really weak because to be honest, Pochettino disappointed me in this aspect completely, because I thought he would understand that you're just playing into Liverpool's advantage, and it's I I don't want to ever hear Kane being called the best striker in the world,
He
but
is.
He's not.
Let him land, man. Let him talk. Let
I
him talk.
want Kane to do something in these big finals, or at least have a role in this Tottenham team that took them to the final. But obviously, he couldn't do that. Until then, I don't want to hear his name alongside Lewandowski, Suarez, and these guys. So unlucky Kane, but it was the horrible decision to start him. I think if he brought on Kane, maybe he could cause more problems. But starting him was the worst idea.
All right, Juju, man, hit it, man.
So this has to be what's it called? Pochettino's man management is this game has to be the worst I've ever seen in since I started watching the sport because like it's like the opposite of Zidane, where Zidane is an awful tactician but an amazing man management. Pochettino was a good tactics, everything was spot on apart from the man management. Starting Harry Kane was the worst decision. Like I knew that from the beginning because Harry Kane, what is his job? His job was to win the be on the end of the crosses, win
Yeah,
the like
long ball.
win yeah, and win the 50-50 games, 50-50 balls. Harry Kane, like Matip and all these guys were winning all the balls. And I look at Harry Kane. At one point in the game, I saw the ball go across the front line of Liverpool's goal, and there was no one to finish. And I was like, this was Kane's job. Like, what is he doing? Like, where is he? Like, he's not doing anything. And another like Pochettino, and then another horrible mistake. I was watching the game with Tamer, and another horrible mistake he did was removing Danny Winks. I thought that was one of the worst decisions he did in that game because Liverpool were no, there was no like it was solid. The defense and the midfield it was solid. There was no problem. And then he removed Danny Winks, and then Liverpool now starting
Harry
because
Winks.
no, I don't care. But he's good. The Winks, he's good. He's good. He removed him, and that's when Liverpool started getting their chances. And another thing, I mean, with Lucas Moura, we can say he legitimately carried this team to this final, and not getting a minutes. I know it's an organization, and
He
there
should
have to be
punch
politics
Pochettino in the
involved.
face. He should
Yeah,
punch Pochettino in the face.
but it's like, and you could even see Lucas Moura, like he didn't even look like enthusiastic about starting. I was like, I mean, he's the one that carried the team there, and he doesn't even get like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. I mean, it's sad. And another thing is, I think the level of strikers in the world right now has gone down. If anyone is trying to become a football player, I would go becoming a striker because I think it's becoming easy. I'm looking at the quality on the field, and it's just wasteful. And they're not. I mean, I didn't see anyone who's world class in that. I didn't see any like top like strikers that I've seen in that field, apart from Origi, who was clinical. But I mean, Kane and Salah. I mean, I don't know.
They're not
And with
strikers.
Or
I
Firmino
mean,
too.
no way. And the one thing about Kane is Kane made two big mistakes. He cost this team a Champions League final and the World Cup. I mean, they passed to
Sterling.
Sterling,
Oh my
which would have been
god.
a tap in. I mean, Kane.
Exactly.
I mean, this is just it's sad, but that was it. There was just Pochettino. 2 points was Pochettino. His man management is bad, and Kane. I mean,
He's a pussy. Say it.
yeah, but
He's a.
it's just like
No. Look, man, it's 2019. It's changed, man.
yeah,
Don't sugarcoat anything.
yeah,
He's a
yeah.
pussy.
And I agree with Double H. Like
He brought into that crap hype
yeah,
of the golden boy, the chosen one, the golden child, and started him in a Champions League final.
yeah.
In real,
I
don't
agree.
sugarcoat anything, bro.
Yeah, and I agree with your point that you said. I think this writes like everything that he's accomplished this
Of course
because
it
it's
does.
just because
Screw
this game.
everything you've done. You're a loser.
Yeah,
You're a
because
loser.
what's it called?
Screw
I
you,
mean,
man.
let's be honest. Liverpool were not that amazing. This was one of their worst games they played, and you felt like they were up for the taking. And just put that before, at least make a game. Like this was, I say the way people say this was one of the worst finals I've seen. This was one of the worst,
No.
and
It was
that's it.
crap.
Yeah.
Crap. All right. Okay. So another super chat here. From Dot. Do you think the lack of quality in strikers right now is because most teams are using inverted fours and playing false nine? Yeah, I mean, look, it's something that I commented on before. Like, look, football has changed. You know, we had the introduction of wing backs, the introduction of the number 10, right now, the inside forwards are the strikers. So many people aren't really training to be strikers. So most guys are either false nines like a Firmino or whatsoever, or they're facilitators like a Benzema or a Giroud. The goal scorers are your inside forwards. So people like a Cristiano, a Neymar, a Salah, and so forth. The evolution of football. Munzaha, why did Poch the brick start Harry Kane the brick?
Bro, man, oh my goodness. Like I guess last week, when like we were discussing on the subject, who should start, I clearly said that no Harry Kane, please, no this Harry crap guy anymore over here. No, I'll be honest to you guys, man. Okay, Hatred, you tell me how many touches he had in the game.
Oh no, Munzaha, I'll say. Oh, thank you for asking me. I'll tell you what that brick did. All he did was try to win a header and get fouled. Tried to win the header and get fouled. He couldn't dribble,
bro.
Had no grace on the ball, had no movement, had no inventiveness.
Forgot about the dive as well.
Yeah, the dive.
And Lucas Moura had more touches. I think had more impact.
Wait.
Came in.
Why
hits the pitch than Hurricane Ball? He's England's golden boy. He's the golden child, and so forth.
Why not Eriksen? What did Eriksen do?
Easy,
no, wait. I'm coming on Eriksen as well.
Man.
Yes,
bro. You know what? Yeah. When somehow Spurs considered the first penalty, the way they considered goal, fine. Now it's Liverpool. They know that it's our freaking birthright to go back, play conservative, like absorb pressure, and let's see what you can bring to the table, what you can offer in terms of attacking playing style. From left flank, you have inside forward, Son. On the right flank, you have nobody because Mane, Mane literally pinned this guy Trippier, so you cannot get a help from Trippier anymore on the right flank. Now Eriksen have to move towards the sideways. Eriksen and this guy don't have legs. I don't know why this guy don't have legs to do that. Anyways, let's move forward. This guy, Harry Kane, bro. This is like semi-pro footballing IQ. When you are not getting space in football, like on the central part of the pitch.
Preach. Go in.
When you don't get space in the central part of the pitch because there is Fabinho, Matip, Van Dijk. These guys are literally world class right now as the current standards. Okay, and you are not getting the space between them. You move towards a sideways, or you drop deep, or you try to find or link up with the midfielders. He didn't do that. He was just standing like a mannequin in the middle of the pitch. That's it.
Yep. Okay? He's mobile.
Yeah, bro, forget it. Oh my goodness, there's no. And you know what? The people are bringing up Luis Suarez, Lewandowski. Yeah, at least he was mobile. He was trying to get into the game. This guy didn't do anything.
Thank you.
Okay. And one more thing, HH. Why did you bench Moura? Bro, this guy, come on, man. He was your deserving star player for this game.
It's messed up
with Son. No. It's not messed up. This is my theory, and it might be wrong, but I'm not. I'm just assuming. Bro, this is English agenda. Your English boy. English
Munzaha, please.
Which agenda?
Elaborate on that.
Brexit means Brexit.
Guys, chill. Yeah. We're getting to the core now. Now, Munzaha, please.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, after 11 years, 2 English clubs are there. Okay, clubs are there in the final. Okay, the best English goal scorer should be there, and it's not message. No. It's not
Salah.
Wait, relax.
What?
It's not from Pochettino. Okay, it's from the hierarchy. It's from Daniel Levy. These guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. The conspiracy points.
Wow.
Expand.
Okay. This is
wait.
Where is your evidence?
Let me speak, my guys. Chill. Munzaha, speak.
Yeah. Daniel Levy, including himself, okay? And Pochettino knows himself. Even if I don't start Harry Kane, and if we lose, it's going to be me all over the media. You didn't start English, so why should take that risk? I should start this guy.
This is the strangest accusations.
Yeah, no.
Exactly. It is actually shocking.
It makes sense.
The guy won the round of 16.
Finish your point, guys. Just let him talk.
Bro, who cares round of 16? Yeah, you are literally benching your best player, one of the best players, Lucas Moura, who gave you the right to play in the.
Why did Eriksen play? That's the question.
You don't deserve that. No, you don't deserve that.
Why Eriksen over Kane?
Wait, man, chill. Now let me talk.
Bro, Eriksen, look. Eriksen is a playmaker, okay? he should be there. You cannot bench Ericsson. What kind of sense is that? And lastly, I just want to like I have to just spread this what do you call a message, yeah? Bro, when you're physically fit for the final, it doesn't mean you're fit. You should be mentally fit for this game as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the hunger level of Lucas Moura was a next level. Don't you think so for this final?
Yeah,
Bro, Harry Kane, for him, this is like, okay, I wasn't a part of this from round of 16, after round of 16. So like he was taking it lightly.
Yeah.
Bro, there's no fighting spirit. This guy cannot
and
even.
you saw-
Wait.
Yep.
This guy is freaking 6'1". Yeah, he cannot win the first ball. Are you kidding me?
He's
He's
injured.
against a 6'4" player.
Wait,
That's why.
wait.
No, wait.
That's
Against
not-
Wijnaldum, against Wijnaldum in the game, which is like 5'11" or 5'10", can't remember, like exactly how he cannot win the head. Are you kidding me, bro? No, bro, I'm telling you, this is English agenda to play this boy in the final. Look, he's a great player, but he wasn't mentally fit for this game as well.
No, okay, but basically on Muntal's points, like guys, let's be real here. I'll get to the push shot and I'll get to neutral. Let's be real here. Something fishy is going on. A man just scored you a hat trick to take you into the final, and you don't start him. That is why, and this is what I was even saying to my bro when it was a house. I said, this has to be a higher up decision, and he said no, it can't be. I said no. I believe that either Levy, the FA, or someone said, because remember they have been pumping this thing on newspapers for the last week. Premier League, Ultimate League final, and everything, and Harry Kane has been the poster boy of being a Champions League final. So I believe that because my thing is this: if Pochettino was forced to play Harry Kane, then Pochettino, you're a damn loser. Because at the end of the day, the buck stops with you. Because for Pochettino, you're like, no, you don't. You let's see, unless you want to sack me before the final. No, this is my team. I start whoever I want to start. So I can't lay that on anyone else, but I truly believe that there was a lot of pressure on people saying you have to start Harry Kane. But for Pochettino, you're a flipping loser because you bought into that English media hype of the crap of this. How did they deserve to start? Oh wait, Judgment, I'll get to you. Just chill.
Wait. You know what makes it on your point? Do you know what makes it worse? Is the fact that Liverpool could not handle people running behind. It just suited Lucas Moura so much, and that's why.
Liverpool
it's like
fans
it just
told
like.
me. You don't understand. Liverpool fans told me that they hoped that Harry Kane would start because Moura and Son would be problems for them. Liverpool fans said this to me, so it's crazy. Okay, look, from Arms 19 Super Chat says, I can't believe no one is mentioning Alisson. He made one really good save.
He did nothing.
I don't think he did anything.
Exactly.
It was really outstanding. So wait, I think we've got another. Yeah, so another super chat here from Dots, who says credits to Liverpool for winning a trophy, but I have to say, what is the point of VAR if you're not going to use it? The early goal changed the game. For me,
they did use VAR.
Game was rigged. So what do you expect?
Whether they use VAR or not, that can't be used as an excuse because Tottenham's performance was disgraceful in that game. Apart from if you could bit, Tottenham played like complete and absolute crap. All right, let's.
So did Liverpool.
Neutral here. Hardcore Barca. Why do you
Milanista, yeah.
Yo, talk, man. Why do you think Pochettino started Kane?
Okay. How I see it is, I think Pochettino got caught up with the the thing about, it's a psychological problem in his head that says, it's a typical Premier League game. That's the psychological problem in his head. He thought that it was a Premier League game, and that's why he started Harry Kane. He didn't know that there was a Champions League badge on the players' shirts. And he just thought, you know what? Since it's a typical Premier League game, why don't I just play Harry Kane? That's how I see it. There's a case for the English agenda too, HH. To be honest, I could care less because I feel like Tottenham are one of the biggest ballers in history. And probably the worst team in history. I mean, I could care less. But again, Lucas Moura, I thought, he should have started. And this is the problem, HH, is, you can't, in the Champions League finals, HH, you can't overreact yourself. You can't override your thinking. Like, if you're gonna stick with one thing, like, at least stick with something that you know is gonna work. Don't go with something that the English people is trying to drive at you. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you need to have like, at least have a clear mind, and at least go in there with not any agenda, and go there and just go and win the flipping game. You know what I'm trying to say? And stop thinking about it as bias, agenda, and all this other stuff. That is the problem with some of these underdog teams, is when they get to the finals, they overreact on themselves, and they don't play like simple football. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I'll say, Chich.
All right. Original base Annie, thoughts? Why did thinking he starts, man? What did he
I don't even know where to start. Like, oh my goodness, Pochettino bottled this final so hard. I don't understand why he started Harry Kane. Like, Lucas Moura just bagged a hat trick in the last game, and you didn't start him. Like,
Shock.
this is a shock. If I was Lucas Moura, I'm 2-footing Pochettino on his chest because he deserves it. Like, how do you start Kane ahead of him?
Yeah.
Liverpool and Spurs have played twice this season, and you're telling me Pochettino hasn't sat down and gone, how am I going to set up against these guys?
Exactly.
I've played them twice. Third time, I should be able to set up and beat these guys. And still, he starts people like Trippier. He starts Kane. Kane, I had high hopes for Kane. Kane right now is not a world-class striker right now.
Thank you.
We can't put him. We can't. Right,
Yeah, that's reactionary, man. Come on, guys.
I have some shame.
I have shame. I'm a United fan. I already
You
have shame.
should.
Like, he's had too many disaster classes as of late for me to be thrown
He's
in.
been injured as of late. What disaster classes like? What the?
Yeah, but
I mean,
You
What else Neymar for being injured?
This is not
All
United
good-
to be making excuses for Harry Kane, man. Sorry.
It's not.
there's no
Is
excuse for
Harry
tonight,
Kane the
but to
only
say he's
player
not
for
world-class
Tottenham?
is a bit over the top. Like, don't get me, he was
I mean,
poor today,
gee.
but to say he's not world class now is
Hatred,
for me,
hatred,
it shows
hatred,
what elite
hatred.
striker not football right now.
Let original base Annie just finish his
So
point.
for this period, I can't throw him in that world class bracket. Not saying that
World class bracket.
world class previously, just for this period. Like, even if he's been injured, so on and so forth. Like, he's not the only one to blame for this loss tonight. Like, Ericsson did Özil and disappeared. Dele Alli couldn't string any passes together. Sissoko, do you know what? Sissoko did well. I don't know why he came off the field. I don't know why Harry Winks came off the field either. Like, it makes no sense to me.
Okay. All right. Okay. So wait, let me just get to the super chats quickly. So another super chat from Dots. Thank you, bro. This is why I rate Pep over Poch and Klopp. Klopp refused to bench Salah in February, which cost him the title, and Poch picked Kane and lost. Well, but then Pep didn't play De Bruyne for the whole
Exactly.
of the first leg against Tottenham, and that cost them pretty much the
Thank you.
game.
Well, he was going for
I think
both.
everyone
So
has their following points, man. So let's move on to this next thing. Now, I believe that this could be the start of something for Liverpool, and I do believe that let's just say in the next 5 seasons, I think Liverpool can maybe win 2 or 3 Champions Leagues in the next 5 seasons. So my question is this: do you believe that Liverpool will become a serious force in Europe and win multiple Champions Leagues over the 5 seasons, or this was just an anomaly and they won't win another for another 10 years? Mane.
I mean, as long as they keep bringing their referees to the final, they should be able to win. You know, getting these calls, getting these calls that nobody else gets. You're telling me that Sissoko, that it hit his chest to his arm, is more of a penalty than Llorente, which actually hit his arm. So it's just disgraceful. I guess anybody can win a Champions League if you have the right officials making calls for you. And Mane knew that. Maybe there was something going on there that we should discuss, maybe, because Mane, he's smart. He knew the referee is like, this fool. It's like he probably got a text before the game, paid off the ref. You know what to do, and then he just chipped it to the guy 5 feet next to him. Supposedly, Sissoko's supposed to break off his arm so the ball doesn't bounce on his chest to his arm. But over 5 years, I don't think so. I think this was lucky. Tottenham were the better team today, honestly. If not for that rigging. Other than that, I don't think they're dominant at all. So good for them for Barcelona, but I don't see them doing this again, even with the cheating. So yeah.
All right. Nish.
No way either. I would have to disagree too, dude. I mean, it's not easy to win like Champions League over and over, dude. And 3 or 4 in the next 5 years. I mean, come on, that's not going to happen. Like the thing is that other clubs are also strengthening. It's not that Liverpool are like like so like this thing. Like Bayern Munich are strengthening, Real Madrid are strengthening. So you can't really say that Liverpool will like come back and win. And to be honest, I'm looking at this Liverpool team. I mean, they're not as good as that Barcelona team in early 2010s. They're not as good as the Real Madrid team like of late. They're not as good as even like Bayern Munich, dude. So like, I mean, no way.
Okay. FG.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they'll definitely win more Champions League. This is just the beginning, and I think their their owner. They even said, even if we win the Champions League, we're gonna keep buying more players. So they're gonna buy world-class players from now on, and I can see them winning 2 more Champions League in the next 5 years. But I don't see them. But I don't see them going back to back. I don't think they'll go back.
So you don't think they can do the Real Madrid 3 in a row?
No, but I guarantee you by the next 6 years they'll have 9 Champions League. No, not 9, 8. Yeah.
What?
They'll surpass Milan.
In the next 6 years, they'll have 8 Champions Leagues.
Yes.
Yeah, they're on 6 right now, so that's winning 2 more. It's not
they're
rocket
winning 2
science.
more.
Yeah, 2 more.
Mm.
Oh no! That one for me, I think that is very possible. I mean, so Real Madrid are on 10 or 11.
13.
13.
Oh Lord. Okay, yes. So yeah, no one is catching them anytime soon. Okay, let me just get to these super chats quickly. Sasquatch Pani says mayonnaise salt could solve world hunger. Robert. George Lyle says that City had the easiest draws this season, so
we didn't have the referees though.
Listen, man, people are really coming for you, man. Damn, seriously,
it's the truth. The truth hurts.
Should have put on the Liverpool shirt.
Okay, so Ford, do you think Liverpool can be a force in Europe this next few years?
Yeah, definitely. They're here to stay, man. Again, I definitely agree with everything that FG said. Actually, to his point, the owner's exact quote was, "No matter if we win the Champions League or not, the season's not been good enough because we didn't win the league, so we need to strengthen." And that quote alone says everything that you need to know. They're eager, they're hungry, and they want to stay. And obviously, they got that front three, which is quite young. They still got a lot of time left for them to improve and to even get even better. And obviously, they had the only elite player on the pitch today, which was Amane. And even I think today was only a decent performance by his standards. And even he was light years above anybody else on the pitch. Light years above anybody else on the pitch. So if they can time that to a long contract and build the team around him, where it's not just focused on Salah, it's focused on both of them. And obviously, Firmino, fertility, maybe even get a better striker who can also maybe add something a little bit more to the game, then they're here to stay, man. Because again, to Anish's point, which is about they're not as good as the Barcelona side of before, or Roma just had it before, Bayern Munich had it before. That's all before. You can only play who you're meant to play right now. And as of right now, Barcelona have declined. Roma, you've seen have declined. Yes, they're going to get Zard, but we don't know how they're going to improve from now. Bayern Munich are on the decline as well. So again, we'll see. We'll see if any of these teams can step it up. But right now, their own real main challenge in terms of teams that are on their level is probably Man City. And then we'll see what Barcelona can do if they get another world-class player to support Messi. But as of right now, Liverpool are definitely the team to chase. Again, 2 Champions Leagues in a row. Klopp's not lost a knockout stage game with Liverpool. A 2-legged knockout stage game since he's been at Liverpool. So they're a tough team to beat over 2 legs. So they're going to be a team that's going to be winning Champions Leagues for the years to come. So yeah, I'm not going to enjoy all the Liverpool fans that I know, but hey, it's the truth. They're here to stay.
Yep.
At least they won't win a.
Man, quiet, what the hell? Hassan.
Is that so?
Can Liverpool be a force in Europe for the next few seasons?
They're overtaking Milan, man. Just accept it, bro.
Look, they're not going to overtake Milan, unfortunately. Look, this is why I think Liverpool will equalize in the next 5 years. They will get 7, which equal to us, but they won't overtake us. The reason for that is I don't think they can go into a period of dominance like Real Madrid did. First of all, if you look at this year's campaign, okay, they deserved it. But many teams were weaker this year. Real Madrid were not their normal selves. Bayern had an off year, and if we're looking at the what's happening right now, these teams are gonna come back next year. We already see Real Madrid having a huge transfer budget. You see Bayern being very serious in the transfer window and really pushing for the Champions League. You see, you're gonna see City starting to focus fully on that CL because look, they've won the
No,
Premier League now back to back. They're gonna shift all their
They'll
focus
get a
to
ban,
CL.
man. They're
we
getting a
won't
championship.
shift to
And
anything.
They're not
We
going to
want
get
the
a
league.
ban.
second of all, I think Liverpool are now gonna start focusing on the league. They need to win that league title.
Wait. Didn't they do that this season? They did that
And
this season. They still won a Champions League though.
exactly. So they still. I think they're gonna shift their large focus to the league because now they've won it. They've won the Champions League. I think they're gonna really need that league, and they would. I can see them sacrificing in the Champions League even if they have to. And for me, with the opposition coming up and the Giants re-strengthening, like Real Madrid, Bayern, and I think City are gonna strengthen as well. I'm not gonna talk about Juventus because they're gonna keep bottling, but yeah, I just see Liverpool winning one Champions League, but I can't see them winning many in the next 5 years because I just don't see that happening. I can see them equalizing.
Okay. Juju man, Liverpool European dominance incoming.
I look at this team and I think they have a world class goalkeeper. Their back line is solid. Fabinho has solidified his position, but like this, like I think forward already alluded to it, but I think they need to get another striker. Salah is not good enough for.
Wow.
It's like people will hate, but it's too wasteful. He's too wasteful. Like he
Oh,
gets so many chances and it's too wasteful. Like and for example, like I think Salah cost Liverpool the league, but no one will say anything because this Champions League covers it. But
he,
and Firmino, I mean, he gets benched by Jesus. I mean, they need to get an upgrade there. Aside from
So very briefly, but again,
Yeah.
like I'll answer too much. Someone even mentioned it. I think something is going on with Salah and Mane because it's like if Salah doesn't want to pass to Mane, I don't know whether I'm reading too much into it, but I think there's some issue with
he
Salah.
literally tried to pass to him.
No, I saw it. I saw it on the game.
Comments, Jujuman, carry on. Jujuman,
Yeah,
carry on.
I saw it on the game where
No.
Mane was upset at Salah because he threw his hand because Salah took a shot when it was an easy pass to Mane
Then he
and it was 1-on-1. And what's it called? And with the one like with the midfield of this Liverpool team, it's half good, half bad. Like they'll need to get like this workhorse is like James Milner, but Henderson is a good he's a good workhorse. But and for the front three, Origi needs more time next season. I'm expecting him to get more time because he's taking his chances and it's been clutch. So Origi will be getting more chances. And the main problem Liverpool are going to face is the Hurricane problem, where you have this star in Salah that's underperforming, and you have to start him. I don't know if they'll go with politics because we know like this numbers like the top scorer has covered every problem. Like Salah has not been good this season. I mean, this second half of the season, and we need to point that out. Like we can cover it for now, but this problem will show up in the next few seasons. The
don't you
amount
feel
of chances is missing.
Liverpool can still dominate Europe?
If like I think if they are like. I'm saying they can get one with this current team, but if they upgrade, maybe get a better striker. I don't know if there's anyone above Salah, but if they get an upgrade of Firmino and Salah, then they can get two. Two is not a problem. Because I look at and Liverpool and I look at the other teams like Bayern still played in an awful league. I mean, they have upgraded, but the league doesn't help them. PSG played in another league that doesn't help them. They don't get tested, and with Madrid. Don't get me wrong, Zidane is making good buys, but Zidane is not a tactical genius. This guy is like a Mr. Crossing 24/7. His man management is good. So if I look at the team around, they can do it. It's not like impossible. And City, I mean, Pep is all here celebrating the domestic treble like anyone cares. I mean, it's not a big deal. They can do it. They can do it again.
Okay. So before I go to Munsar, just super chat take from Mr. Dots, who says he says Liverpool threw away 2 domestic competitions to focus on the league and still lost. And if Barcelona weren't such butlers, they wouldn't even be in the final. Meanwhile, their rival played more games. But look, man,
Facts.
Damn, that guy's spot on. Whoever that is.
Wait. You can say what you want, Mr. Man, but at the end of the day, Barcelona messed up.
Yeah.
They screwed up. And and this is something that we can now discuss afterwards, which is more valuable. Liverpool now being the Champions League winners or City's domestic treble. Who are the true kings of England, City or Liverpool? But we'll discuss that. Muntaha, are Liverpool going to be the kings of Europe, or will Real Madrid rise and shine with Luka Jovic?
Yo, HH, man. First of all, you have to ask a question: will Klopp stay for another 5 seasons? That's the important question.
Come on, man. Of course he would.
But bro, you never know, because look, man, this is what I see. Yeah, if this season, like, he won the Champions League with the Brexit midfield, and by the way, they were deserving team to win by far margin, by far, yeah. In a sense. Secondly, next season they'll be focused on Premier League solely. That's for sure. Because now the only trophy like Klopp needs, to gain the status in the Liverpool community. Like, he already gained the status, but to cement his proper legacy. Okay, they need that EPL trophy. Look, man, I'll just say, man, look, this team is good, but for the next season, you have to keep on transforming. You understand that? Like, okay, you have Van Dijk, you have Matip. Try to get more of a central midfielders, like proper creative midfielders. Like, okay, like right now you have hunger, desire, so you can run miles. But with the times, when you keep on winning the trophies, then you'll come to know that you need a bit more of creative football rather than high intensity football. And this club knows that for sure. Look, there's another striker, Divock Origi, who came, and I think so by next season he'll replace Firmino for sure. He'll replace Firmino because this guy is like fire, man. I believe that. I believe in that.
Okay.
Look,
all right.
Look.
Can I say one more thing?
I'll just say, Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. And Klopp actually hinted that they're not really buying stars. They're more focused on buying squad players so that they can last the whole season in the league.
But do you know? Muntaha, sorry. Do you know if it wasn't for Origi, Liverpool would have been eliminated, and Salah missed a lot of chances. I mean,
Salah, Liverpool would have been
we're going to talk about Origi. We're going to talk about what that guy has done. Has been flipping amazing, man. Flipping amazing what flipping Origi has done. But because I always tell people, it's not when you, it's not how many you score, it's when you score. Hence why I'm taking Origi over Harry Kane all day, every day, and maybe over Salah.
Salah scored in the Champions League.
Hardcore Barca, hasn't chill. Hardcore Barca. Are Liverpool going to be a force in Europe for the forthcoming?
I'm a Milan fan. I'm not a Barca fan. Anyways, so what I'm saying is, so to be honest with you, all I can say is that Liverpool are favorites to win the UCL next season, alongside with Real Madrid. Because this is how the UCL works. I'm sorry, HH, I'm saying this, but I've just been so down about the UCL for the past couple of 4 years now. It's so amazing. What I can say is that I think Liverpool, again, I think I agree with Hazem. I think they can equalize with AC Milan down. There's no question about it. I think they can equalize. But I just feel like they can win over 10 UCLs. You know what I'm trying to say? And I think even if they win over 10 UCLs, Real Madrid will be in 16 or 20 UCLs. That's the problem. That's the problem there. And you also have to look at it this way, HH. I don't consider Barcelona as the contenders for UCL because all I can say is that Barcelona just has a bunch of passers and just 2 goal scorers. And you can't win a UCL.
Wait. Sorry to cut you, but I mean, you're taking a lot of heat in the chats at the moment, neutral. Some guys have asked that, how can you go from Barca to Milan? Notta. So,
7 Champions League.
Chill. Okay, so do you have any response? Because people are criticizing you, saying, why the hell did you leave Barcelona and go to Milan? And they're just insulting you. So do you have any response to your haters?
Yeah, Milan is a bigger club than Barcelona.
Oh my God!
Hey, man, let him talk.
The fan base is way greater than Barcelona's fan base. Milan's fan base is amazing in that their away crowd is amazing. Not
Yeah.
only that, their home support and also their fan base on social medias is way greater than Barcelona's fan base. In a game in Anfield against Liverpool, you can't tell me you can't just score one goal against Liverpool in Anfield. Your fans can't get up and shout and say something like, "Oh my goodness,"
Right.
roar your team all the way to the end.
Neutral in supposed that people will say that the whole point about being a real fan is you have to stay with your team through thick and thin. So even through those dark times, you have to lick your wounds, come back and still support the team even when they're at
Exactly. Look at Hazard right now.
I have a can I ask you something?
Sure.
This is not about sticking with your team. You know why, H? Let me tell you why. Okay,
Oh.
there's a reason for. I'm talking. I'm talking. Okay, yeah. So sorry, H. There's a reason for leaving Barcelona. Okay, that team is a joke. Laeschi is overrated. I bought into Messi's hype, and he made a promise and lied to me. HH, and now I call him Laeschi. Because of this, because he made this promise that he said will and promise that he will deliver and bring the
Oh
UCL
my
to Camp
god.
Nou. I can't trust Barcelona anymore. Neither can I trust Messi and Laeschi anymore. He's done. He's overrated. The club is a joke.
Okay.
I'm
So
sorry.
long story short, Anfield broke this young man's heart basically.
So original base. So same question. Do you think Liverpool will be dominant in Europe for the fall?
Oh my god, the thought that Liverpool could win another 2 or 3 UCLs in the next 5 years scares my soul. But it depends on who they buy. It really depends on who they buy because I feel someone like Timo Werner would be good for Liverpool, starting up top with Salah and Mane. But like Mutaha said, it depends on how long Klopp stays at Liverpool. It's literally that. It depends on how long Klopp stays because
Come to Milan Club.
like it depends on how long Klopp stays because if he's ready, if the board is saying what they're saying and they're gonna build a squad to challenge on all fronts, then I can see Liverpool winning another Champions League like next year or the year after. So
okay,
why not?
Yeah.
Wait, but not the way Salah is wasteful like that. The way he's
Yeah,
hopefully
yeah.
this was just an
Wait,
anomaly.
wait. So
Another
briefly,
striker.
have mentioned this briefly because we didn't actually talk about the Europa League.
Oh,
God.
So
Yes.
wait.
Oh, God.
So basically, this is a very simple question. Where do you rank Hazard now?
Oh,
That's
So
right.
it's just based. Hey man, let me ask the quiet down question. What man, chill. Based on what he's done and all the insults you've given him in a final, he gave you two G's and an A. So 2 G's and an A and the clinic in the second half. Where do you rank that right now? So before I go to Mane, who I'm hoping is going to say top 2, maybe 1. Arms 19 says don't do their laugh, Mane. So Arms 19 says Nicolas Pepe would be a perfect like replacement for Salah. Plus, he speaks French like Mane. If Klopp has balls, he'll make the switch. Bro, make the switch. Is Salah overrated? Is he just an Egyptian
He's underrated.
marketability? Who knows? Who knows? I'm not saying anything because
Underrated.
I love Egyptians. Hazard, chill. Don't take the bait, man. Chill. Mane, Hazard, where does he rank right now after what he was able to do in his final game for Chelsea? Final game for Chelsea. Everything was put on him, the pressure on him. Where does that now rank amongst the people in the world?
Look, I mean, I like Hazard. He's very talented, great dribbler in circles and all that, dribbles per second. But let's be honest, it's Europa League. I mean, it's oh no, what day was it? Wednesday? That just shows how unimportant it is. They were probably looking at the calendar, just like which day should we put this shit game on? Put Wednesday. Nobody gives a shit. So they put it on Wednesday. But good for him, scoring 2 goals. I didn't think he had it in him, because he's usually chokes in those tournaments. But I give it to him. He performed well. So I would rank him top 20. I would say top 20 because there are not very many good players these days. So other than that, I think it's not very impressive to me scoring in Europa League. But good for him that he did it.
All right. So before I go to Niche. So basically, I've just been having tweets and everything about it. So again, this is just breaking news. Apparently, Neymar has been accused of rape.
Yeah,
Yep.
so
Yes.
So
Wait, who the hell said
again,
yes?
this is just headlines I saw it on Twitter right now, and people have just been tweeting me and everything. So I can't go into anything because this is because we don't have the details of everything. Remember, innocent to proven guilty, but that's pretty big. So he's been accused of rape, blah blah. I mean, we just have to wait and see how much more we find out based on. But that is pretty serious stuff if that is believes it to be true. So let me just do the super chats. Another super chat from Dot, who says, "You are overreacting because they just won 2 hours ago. Watch next season when Madrid wins another Champions League. Calma. There's 32 next season. Real Madrid are not winning a CL with only Hazard, Jovic, Vinicius, and Benzema in the team, bro. They need either Mbappe or Neymar.
Wanna make
Ish, Hazard, where does he rank right now based on delivering the Europa to thingy? 16 goals, 15 assists.
Look, like I mean, like Mutaha and I were holding on the fort the other day because we were like one of the few people who said that Europa League final will be more tantalizing than the Champions League final, and lo and behold, we were right because and one of the big
For
reasons,
sure.
one of the big reasons for that was because of Hazard's performance in the second half. I think he's like top 3 in Europe right now, alongside Messi and Van Dijk. So I think Messi is probably number 1. I think Van Dijk because he won Champions League, but Hazard is like number 3.
Okay. Oh my god. Someone just I don't know how many of you watch Game of Thrones, but someone just said Neymar Lannister. Lord. For those who watch Game of Thrones, that is just a image in my head. All right. Zad, where does he now rank based on delivering a Europa League on the final day for Chelsea?
I rate him. I rate Hazard top 3. I always rated him top 3.
Thank you.
But wait. But I still think he what's he called? Like I'm looking ahead. I think he needs to lose a bit of weight. He looks chubby a bit, and I'm not sure his stamina. Like I don't know how long it like this. I don't know if that will help his game in the long run because he needs to be more fit. Like, but as for now, he did well. He did well. But he needs to improve his overall physical condition in order to play to get another 5 years at the top.
But it is quite weird. Before I go to Ford, so the Europa League final was actually a much better game than the Champions League final. That's interesting. Okay. Ford, Zad, where does your boy now rank? Like, on him delivering that thing on the final game of the season. And let me give you props. Ford did tell me privately that he had a very strong feeling about this game. I said, Ford, you're mad, you're smoking crap, you're smoking glue, you're smoking grass. But Ford did something that he had a very strong feeling about the game. So Ford, first, where did he get this feeling from, and where do you rank that?
I mean, I did smoke all of those things, but I don't think that affected my confidence. But again, even still, I mean, look, it is Arsenal at the end of the day. Yes, people are getting hyped over them, and we had our injuries, but I mean, it's Arsenal. Like, they're always going to be a self-destructing kind of team. Once you went a goal up, it was curtains from there. And obviously, to your question of Zard, obviously, we knew at the start of the season we were talking about this guy being top 3, and we said that he was going to show it this season. And in a team full of bricks, he managed to get the most assists throughout all of Europe. How does that make any sense? Come on, guys. Think about him. So obviously he's top 3. And again, even to I believe it was Juju's point about he needs to lose weight. I absolutely agree. And once he gets on that Galactico diet, which we saw transform Bale and transform Ronaldo physically, Hazard's only going to get even better, playing alongside better players as well. So for me, I think next season he could even challenge for being number 1, and obviously usurping Messi, winning La Liga.
What?
Well, Mane,
Possible.
Mane, a European champion is talking here. Please be quiet, okay? With your
Europa champion. Europa.
Stay in England and eat fish and chips.
Exactly. All right.
Rest in that pop and happy pints. This is European big boys talking. European big boys.
Yes.
Listen,
Thank you.
Man, talk to people about to play super.
Can I respond? Can I respond to that?
No, you can't, man. No, you can't. Paul, please.
Thank you. As I was saying, Hazard is going to be top 1 next season. Once he usurps Messi for the Liga, wins the Ballon d'Or, nobody can chat to any of us ever again. That's how it's going to be.
All right. Hazem, where does that now rank, man?
Look, man. I think 1 month ago, I said Hazard was better than Salah because Salah hasn't won anything. Now Salah has finally overtaken Hazard.
Oh, you're a mongoose.
I mean,
Oh my God. Finally happened, guys.
Hazem, okay, Hazem, I'm begging you, please, because I know you're a smart man. Please be objective. Are you
100%.
telling me because Salah scored a penalty and had an average performance in a Champions League final, he is better than Hazard, who scored 2 goals, one of which was a penalty, what was through open play and an assist, and was the best player in the second half? Salah is now automatically better because.
All right. Let me answer this. So we're not only talking about the final. Salah took Liverpool out the group stage. When Mane disappeared and started missing all those chances, he showed up and took them out of the group stage in that final game against Napoli.
How is this about Salah?
He is
Embarrassing.
No, Hazem, just tell me no. Forget
No,
Salah.
let me finish. Come on.
No, Hazem. This one about Salah, he's irrelevant right now.
These fanboys, man. Oh my god.
Where is Hazard ranked?
Okay, yeah, just a second. So Hazard is Europa League level below Salah. We're playing different levels here, but you can consider him. I'll still put him in the top 10 because I know he played for a weak Chelsea team, and he took them to the Europa League, which is impressive. But for a player to be in the top 5, you have to at least be in the Champions League. So when he goes to Real Madrid, I think he'll be moving into that top 5 with the likes of Salah, Messi, Lewandowski.
You already realized he was the best player at the World Cup, right? You're talking like he didn't play at the World Cup.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
I mean, I know I'm taking the bait here, but like, I can't listen to this nonsense.
The fact that you actually mentioned Lewandowski in this conversation has negated your objectivity.
Lewandowski is the second top scorer in the Champions League.
We're moving on.
Irrelevant goals.
I go to everybody. Chill. Super chats from George Lau, who says, "Who was worse, Aubameyang or Kane?" Also, Zad is top 3.
Ericsson.
I would say Aubameyang because he actually missed chances.
Ericsson was
Kane
worse.
didn't miss any chances.
No.
Exactly.
Kane was non-existent. Aubameyang was actually still there. I would rather a guy actually miss chances than a guy not even exist. Kane was. There was no point even Kane even been on the pitch. He was. Liverpool for everybody. Actually, well, since you're here, thoughts on Liverpool winning the Champions League? What are your thoughts, and who do you think was the best player for you guys? And then tell me whether Zad is top 3 or not.
Spiritual.
Thank you, my man. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy. You know, I think this is the first step.
I'm loving that AVI. I'm loving that profile pic.
Thank you. I think it's the first step to many trophies, in my opinion. Man of the match to me was the keeper or Matip, either the keeper or Matip. I think is the reason why we won that game.
Okay.
But I mean, it wasn't the best thing to watch, but I could care less as long as we won the game.
There we go. As long as you win, as long as you. That's
On Hazard, the short film you made. Beautiful, but don't bring up the Europa League. Arsenal were down to 7 men before the ball was even kicked. They don't have a defense.
Damn.
So that's not really impressive to me. But people don't understand your question. Hazard is he might be top 2 in the world. Listen.
Chill, man. Let him talk, man. Let him land, man.
People don't understand your question when you talk about Hazard. As far as ability, he's easily top 3, if not top 2. Easily.
Let's go.
Thank you. I don't care about his. I like thick women. I don't care about men.
We're not talking about ability.
What the hell are you talking about, man? This is a weird conversation.
No.
Hazard.
He makes a great point because when we're looking at when I say who are the best players in the world, I'm saying ability-wise, who are the best players in the world?
Okay.
Ability-wise, Hazard is at the very minimum top 3. So
how do you measure that?
Let me land.
You watch the game. That's how you measure it.
Why respond to that? Why you respond to that?
Dribbling in circles.
Salah into the conversation, then you clearly don't know football because
we're not talking about
football if you're putting Salah in the same conversation as Hazard because Hazard is 10 times the player. Salah is ability-wise.
We're not talking about ability. You didn't say ability at the beginning.
Guys, chill, relax, chill. Let me just read this super chat. From Young One. Young One says, FG is smoking rocks if he thinks Salah is better than Hazard.
It's Hazard, not FG.
Oh no, so sorry, Hazard. So yeah, he thinks you're smoking rocks. And from Dot says that Messi, Mbappe, Hazard. Anything else is a lie. I mean, Mbappe. I don't really know.
Mbappe is not even top 5.
For me,
what's his argumentation for Hazard to be above
Messi, but like Hazard. All right, Munsaha, Zad. Where do you think that ranks after the Europa League victory?
Do I need to specify that? Obviously, like minimum top 3. I'll tell you why. I'll give you reason number 1.
Oh my god.
No, I'll give you reason number 1. First of all,
Man of
no, first,
culture. Thank you.
yeah. First of all, Salah. Okay, I'll just give me 1 second. Yeah, Salah play with the team. It's a more of a team game, not an individual.
Oh my gosh!
brilliance.
Preach!
Secondly, secondly, if you see the Liverpool work rate of the team, of the midfielders, they run freaking three miles extra than the opposition. So they give them so much high work rate for Salah. Like it's like such a good fit. But for Eden, bro, he has to create himself. He has to find space. He's like brain and heart of the team.
Munsaha, preach!
Look, next season, Next season it's going to be huge, blow. No. Look.
Hazem,
Next
let
season,
him talk. Hazem, let him talk. We let you talk, Munsaha. Let Munsaha talk. Munsaha talk.
next season, yeah. This guy, what do you call? Like Chelsea is not making top 4. I'm telling you, because this guy brilliant IQ's on next level, bro. It's on Messi level. I'll be honest to you guys. Secondly, thirdly, look at the Europa League final. Who expected Chelsea to win? Like, be honest to yourself. Who expected Chelsea to win? And even in that, Arsenal were not just favorite. Like they were one of the like best, like the most favorite side. Like Chelsea has a 20% chance or 30, 10. You know what? Like I saw some of the Arsenal fan tweets. I was like quite amazed to see that. Oh, we already win. We are celebrating this. No. And thirdly, people say, oh, look at the Mesut Ozil performance and all this. Nah, they were shocked. They cannot handle Hazard in second half. Like that. That's fact. This guy wasn't. Oh my god. Like even in the first half, okay, he hardly created, but he kept that threat, like in the mind of Arsenal, players. They couldn't even focus on the play, the main plan, main strategy. They didn't implemented that because of this guy fear. They were all the time thinking about this guy. Second half, he came with that thing and with the assist, and it was game over, man. Like when this guy rose up, man, game over. And this last thing I just want to mention over here, Hazard is not the solution for our problem, but he's he could contribute great. Like after Cristiano lost, we don't have that X factor in the team where opponents can fear from you, and Hazard will be sure that fear for the opposition hard, especially in the Champions League. We need that fear, and the only look, even if we're getting Mbappe, he can give us goals, but he cannot give us that fear. And the fear is Eden Hazard, bro. So yeah, man, easily top 3 and can make top 2 or first as well.
Okay. All right. What's it called? No. Bro, that Munsa's, those are so many truth bombs in it. I mean, that guy, boom, just hits all the points. All right. Neutral. Zad, is he top 3? Yes or no? Explain.
I'm hardcore Milan. Anyways,
oh my god, Jesus, bro.
Yeah,
just go on.
All right, so HH, I think Hazard. I can say now Hazard is better than Messi.
Shit!
Messi. Than Messi.
Yeah. Let me tell you why. He's gonna win if he goes to Real Madrid. I guarantee you, he's gonna win a UCL with this Real Madrid side.
Relax, please.
No, wait.
It takes time.
Okay, and the thing here is, for me, I think Hazard, like I said, his close control dribbling is amazing. It's off the flipping charts. I wasn't expecting Chelsea to win. Hazard completely shocked me in that game. And what I would say is I'm not gonna lie, but I think they should put him in the Ballon d'Or list. I think they should remove Laessi and put him in the Ballon d'Or list. Yeah.
For winning Europa League?
Oh my god.
No, because the thing here is, how many times has Laessi bottled in the Champions League? It's staggering.
This has nothing to do with Messi.
It's so staggering. If Hazard won a Europa League and you bottled in the Champions League, then you have a serious problem.
I hear a Messi agenda right now. Like,
okay, original base, Zad. Where do you rank Zad? He did his exploits.
Based off this season, I'm gonna put Zad top 5. I'm gonna put Zad top.
Wait,
top 5.
Wait, I need an exact number. Is it 5, 4, 3?
Too high.
I say 5. I say 5.
Who's the 4?
I'll put him. No, let me finish. If he goes to Madrid, when he goes to Madrid, and if he wins the La Liga and beats Messi to it, I'll put him in the top 3, top 2, max. I'll put him up there.
Who's ahead?
Who's ahead of him? Of course, Messi's ahead of him. Who else is going to be ahead of him?
So Messi takes up all 4 positions.
Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, Neymar.
Man said Ronaldo in 2019, you know.
Let's go. Ronaldo and Neymar is not making top 10, bro. Come on, man. Neymar and Ronaldo.
Mbappe ahead of Lewandowski.
Okay, guys, chill. I'm going to start meeting guys. Original base. Let me respond to you. So you're telling me that Mbappe and Neymar, who play in that Farmers League, and just start their stats in a Farmers League, you're going to give them credence over what Hazard has done in a far more competitive league.
Hazard started in the Europa League. Hazard started in the Europa League.
Europa League is much more competitive than the bloody French.
Hazard has done better than a lot of them, but right now, that's just my opinion. It would, if it can change.
But I'm saying that it makes no sense because Mbappe and Neymar have pretty much been. They're in a team that is the greatest monopoly, which is in Ligue 1. And when Mbappe was in the Champions League, he flopped against United in that second leg. So I'm sorry. I don't understand how you can put them ahead of that. But okay, friend, what's your point? Let me just get to the super chat set, and we'll get to our final topic. So, Richard, thank you for the super chat, Richard. Richard says if Bayern gets Sane and Eric, they'll have the Champions League.
They can't afford Sane.
No. Bayern still needs a lot more than just.
No. I think no. Sane is going to be big, but I think they need to replace. They need in the Champions League.
You're never getting Sane. Keep dreaming.
Anything in that team?
No. Mane. Mane. I think Sane is going to be leaving. So
he's not leaving.
Our finals right now. The club season has officially finished. It's over. It's done. It's finished. Now. So 2 questions now. The last 2 questions. So before we go to that last one, the penultimate one, highlights of the Champions League. Champions League highlights. What was if you had to pick one moment? I'll give you some time. If I had to pick one moment that was a highlight of the Champions League, what would it be? My highlights, personally, for me, was when Moura scored the 3rd goal against Ajax. I think for me, that was just an iconic, incredible football. That's probably one of the craziest moments I've ever seen in football, when Moura scored the final goal in the 90th minute. And what makes it even more painful is the fact that the dude couldn't even start a game. That golden boy clown started ahead of him. So, Mane, if I had to pick the greatest moments, it could even be something controversial, something bad, something good, the most iconic, memorable moments of this Champions League.
For me, the most one I enjoyed the most was when Rashford scored the last minute penalty to remove PSG. I enjoyed that one.
Mane, my guy.
Wow, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Wait, oh wow. So I mean, but wouldn't you want United to lose? But fair enough. Okay.
No. I don't like PSG. So PSG fans are getting too arrogant. So it was good, and it was last minute. It was the same ref that coached the final, by the way. So it was kind of a little bit shady. But even then, Lukaku, good effort. I like that game. It was an unexpected game for me.
What's it called? A lot of people are saying the Origi goal. And super chats from Dot, who says the highlights for me is that Messi free kick. Crazy. That was a crazy free kick. That was a crazy free kick. So Nish, Champions League highlights for you.
Yeah, and one quick thing before I say my moment,
Yep.
it's a shame that Champions League with so many great moments had such a letdown of a final.
Yes,
just like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and
no, but Nish, isn't that how it normally happens? And that was my fear that once we have such a crazy stuff happening, we're probably gonna have a real down. And this was the same with, I don't know how old some of you are, the '94 World Cup. The probably exciting and amazing, but the final was just very, very tactical, and there was hardly any chances in there. All right, so Nish, your moments then.
I mean, it has to be like the Barcelona.
Wait, whose kettle is spoiling, man.
It's Juju probably.
Man, I have your bloody team, man. Okay, thank you. All right, Nish, sorry, so your moments.
Yeah. It has to be like the Liverpool like comeback against Barcelona, and I'm saying like they won't win like 3 and 5 years or whatever like dominance, but if they do, like nobody can doubt Klopp anymore because what this guy's done is like amazing, and he'll easily like surpass Pep. I mean, he's already surpassed Pep Guardiola in my opinion, but like he will easily surpass if they continue to win Champions League. So yeah,
Seriously, a lot of people are saying, I mean. Because I totally thought that Ajax Real Madrid was crazy, man.
That was a game.
Crazy. And what's it called? Tadic's
yes.
pirouette dribble. Yeah, man. I mean, that was another big one. Okay, Juju, man, your moment. Pick one moment of the Champions League.
I'll go with Lucas Moura against Ajax because I think they were down 3-0, up completely outplayed.
1/2.
Yeah, and 1/2. Yeah, exactly. 1/2 to come back. I mean, that's unbelievable. I didn't think it was possible because I didn't think it was possible. But I think that was the best moment of this Champions League. And the one thing I would say about this Champions League is they first need to reduce the time. Like the finals, like the space between the semis and the finals is just too long. That I think the quality of this final probably was. I was thinking one reason might be because players are on vacation already, so that's why it looks like the intensity was not there. I think the final should be a week after the next.
I've seen other really great finals, and there's first of all the Real Madrid Juve final was a damn good final in 2017.
Too, but it just feels like it's too long.
United against Chelsea was a damn good final.
That's the only good, yeah. That was the only good domestic final.
That was the only good one.
Yeah, but and the other thing is, I think they need to go and look on these penalties because we've had a lot of penalties, and I'm not sure what the rule is because we don't know. Like with the Kimpembe one, with this final, we don't know. Like they need to be solid what the penalty rule is because it feels like it's become way easier to get penalties. I think we've seen how many penalties. Have we seen penalties in every game in the knockout stages, or how many games have we seen penalties so far? So that's
only the one with the ref.
No, so that's one thing about this Champions League that I would like them to maybe look over, and another thing is the last point with this Champions League is the teams. I think maybe what's it called? Maybe make it like the groups balance because I would have like the one PSG group was hard, the one Liverpool PSG group that was hard, and City didn't face anyone until the semis. So balancing out the groups will be better for next season. That's what they need to do.
All right. So Ford, your moments, your Champions League moments.
Cool. Yeah. Shout out first of all to Tadic. Just not even his that roulette, but like overall performance against Real Madrid. I thought that was just a Hall of Fame performance. It was unreal. And also again, people say that Lucas saved Tottenham, which he did in the semi-final. He also saved them in the group stage with a last-minute equalizer against Barcelona. Without that, they wouldn't have qualified. So again, people need to also bear that in mind, which is why you should have started the final. That's neither here or there. My moment of the Champions League was also the game of the Champions League. Probably one of the best games I've ever seen live was Man City versus Spurs. That game was an absolute madness. And to top it all up, which gave us again an amazing climax to the game, which was that surreal moment where Sterling scores that goal. There's the ecstasy of the celebrations, and then it just gets ripped out of their hearts, which was again
a terrible game.
Don't get me wrong, I hate Tottenham, but just to see somebody go from ecstasy to like complete pain and agony was kind of mad. So yeah, it was a thrilling moment, and obviously to see Mane again go ghost for a week after that was also a thrilling moment as well.
I wish we should have paid that referee to come give us penalties that game. We needed this referee.
I mean, as everyone can see, Mane's still recovering from that incident now. So yeah,
my God.
It's a difficult time for him.
I'm going to go to the house. Oh jeez, where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? Where's my mouse?
I don't know.
Okay, so sorry, it's here. This is bloody like Bluetooth mouse, man. Martin Rosario, thank you for supporting the Hangouts super chats. He says highlights of Champions League was Messi showing his fraudulence as.
Oh, God.
The Messi slander, you know. But you guys are gonna get hunted down by these Barcelona fans online.
All right, Hazem, your Champions League moments, standout moment for the Champions League.
Yeah. First of all, I want to say I forgot to say this. Rest in peace, Jose Antonio Reyes.
Yes, Jose.
And hope condolences and hope the family deal with it well. And okay, back to the football. It has to be one. It has to be one. When he took that penalty, and he proved all the haters wrong, and he just made everyone.
Bro, you're the biggest fanboy I've ever seen in my life.
That penalty when Mohamed Salah won the championship.
Respect the agenda, man. I respect it.
Has to be that one. That was the best moment for me.
Get off the man's nuts, bro. Like,
It was, don't tell me Ajax comeback. Don't tell me all these things. It has to be that moment. And
why not AC Milan versus Olympiacos?
That's
7 Champions League. Okay, so it has to be Salah. He won Liverpool the Champions League.
Okay, Liverpool v everybody, man. Your Champions League moments, and I'm guessing it might be Origi, man. But what would it be? That was probably my guess. But what would be your just one moment, Champions League moment?
Yeah, it looks like Forward kind of touched on it, but nobody's going to mention Joseph ruined his designer khakis when he fell to his knees after that VAR decision. Nobody's going to mention it.
You know what?
Nobody's going to mention that, really?
I might. You know what? I mean, it's tough because I think I still would stick with Mora, but that VAR thing was huge.
Yeah.
Classic. It was classic.
It only worked for us. Yeah, it only works against us. But when we need it to work in the final, it does nothing.
Sorry, Karen.
No, but on the real, I think it was Trent Alexander's moment for the corner. The corner was special.
Okay, no. But I mean, before I go to Montara, I think because that was so crazy because literally, I was like, my gosh, Sterling scored a flipping hat trick to get through, and when that happened, I was like, you know what? I think City are going to win all 4. Because if City had won that game, they beat Ajax. And in a final, I'm going for the final over Liverpool. So I think that was a moment. I think if City had beaten Tottenham, Ajax were tailor-made for Man City. City would have beaten them. And in a final, it would have been I think it would have been a much better final than what we had now. And I think City would have won the quadruple. And if that had happened, I think Pep would have released like 2, 5, 6.
Like destroyed football.
Right, Muntaha, good moment.
It's so difficult for me, Ages, personally.
Pick one.
Lucas
One.
Yeah. I'll go for Divock Origi goal because let me be over here. Put myself Madrid agenda over here. Oh my God. Such a trash club, bro. Trash Leona, man. And that happened, bro. My boy Divock, bro. You know what? After that goal, Perez should sign him, bro. Instead of signing this guy Mane and these guys. Yeah, man. Divock Origi goal, man. Yep.
Neutral. Your Champions League moments. And don't say Messi. Don't.
Say Salah.
Okay. I'm actually gonna go with Juventus versus Ajax. I think seeing Juventus bottle again was a bit amazing. How you bottle to an Ajax club that I'm not saying that they weren't good this season, but come on, like you scored literally in 3 minutes of the first half, and you let that go. You bottle in the second half. Nah, they're probably smoking a lot of things in that dressing room because I don't know what happened with them in that second half. But yeah, I think that was the best moment of the UCL for me is seeing Juventus get knocked out again. Because
lack of shame on this hangout is unbearable.
Lack of what?
The lack of shame.
Nah, because because of Allegri's negligence to go attacking. That is why.
Relax.
No. That is why they lose to Ajax. Why do you go so I don't understand. You score 1 in 3 minutes and you decide to sit back against Ajax. Don't you know they're gonna attack you? I mean, it's just common sense. And I just feel so bad for certain people who don't have common sense with lineups or even with, the Champions League. How do you battle against Ajax? My goodness, mind blowing.
From your boy Supercharged from Gatlock, he says it's the Premier League's fault. Champions League was far finished earlier than everyone. Why Spurs and Arsenal players remove their runners-up medals like they've won anything better? Damn. Now that's harsh, because if you're Tottenham, don't remove that runners-up medal, man. Because that's the most valuable thing that you've ever won. So keep that runners-up medal, bro. So original base, your highlights of the Champions League.
I want to give out some honourable shout-outs to City versus Spurs, the Ajax, the prospects versus Real Madrid, the Anfield comeback. Like I'd never think it would happen, but I'm gonna go for Rashford's pen against PSG. That was the height of Ollie at the wheel. That was the height of Ollie at the wheel before it came to a crashing halt. So that's my highlight of the Champions League.
Golden boy.
All right, so final topic here. Season is over, and yes, we do have the Euro Leagues to look forward to. We have America to look forward to, and we have the Nations Cup to look forward to. But I do believe that when we now look at Ballon d'Or voting, a lot of the waiting will be to do what has happened within the club season. So I think I already asked this before, but I think it was very important for us to really see who would have won the Champions League now fully crystallizes. So I'll start off. My who I feel, taking everything into account, should be and might be in the Champions League finalists is, I think, Messi, because I believe Messi's performance as an individual has been absolutely flipping outstanding, superbly flipping outstanding. I just think he has, even if he didn't win anything major, he has been far too outstanding for the team. Van Dijk, I think, as much as Liverpool's goals have got them to the final, I think Van Dijk's defensive work and I think his defensive stalwart has really helped the team and has formed the foundation for their success in the Champions League. And I think, if I feel that in the last 3 games, Matip has been the better to defend, especially against Barcelona. I think Matip has grown and become better because of Van Dijk's leadership. And now, I know people will hate me for this, but hear me out. Hear me out.
Don't say Hazard, please.
Can I talk now?
No.
I said that's okay. Mane, because he's won the Champions League. Salah, because he's won the Champions League. Sterling, because he had an amazing season. Now, here's my argument. Guys, don't disturb me. Don't try and interject. Let me just finish my point. Here is my arguments for Zad. My arguments for Zad is this. 16 goals, 15 assists, and this is based on what an individual is, because my arguments for Zad is very similar for my arguments for Messi. What have you done as an individual? And I think Muntal made this. I don't know who made this point. I think it was Muntal. Someone. Yeah, Muntal made the point. Salah, you're in a very good team. You're not a standout. So you're not really standing out. Sterling, you've done amazing, but you're still an amazing team. Zad has literally carried this team on his shoulders. Zad is
to Europa.
And based on what he has done as an individual, I think he's got a very strong argument. So my picks are Hazard, Messi, Van Dijk. But I feel that it is going to be between Van Dijk and Messi. And I have a strong feeling that if it was down to me, it's probably going to be given to Van Dijk based on them winning the Champions League. Mane, who are your 3 and why?
My 3, 1 has to be Messi because he has the best overall season, both in Champions League and domestically in the whole of Europe. Second one, I would have to go, just because he scored more, I'll give it to Mbappe. I don't even like him, but I have to give. I like production, and he produced. He's the second highest top scorer. So based on anybody else, that it's not stat padding. It's goals are goals. But even then, even if you're counting it as stat padding, I hate on him a lot, but I have to give it to him. I don't see anybody else that has a better claim And the third player I would say is the Dream, Raheem the Dream, because obviously the best winger in the Premier League, hands down. The most amount of goals by a winger in the Premier League for 2 seasons in a row.
Oh.
Even in his worst season, he had more goals than Hazard. So it's not even close. And he's playing in Champions League, where he was the 4th highest top scorer. But anyways, so I think he deserves to be there, as well as having the most successful back-to-back, winning the hardest league in the world, the best league in the world, 2 Premier League titles in a row, being the catalyst in that team, even though many people here thought he would be on the bench or get sold. So I would have to give him 3rd place.
All right. Nish, who are your 3?
Yeah, I already hinted at Van Dijk, Messi, and Hazard, and I'd give it to Messi actually because he's been the best individual this season.
Sorry, again. You said Van Dijk, Messi, and who?
Hazard.
Okay.
What?
And I didn't talk,
Yeah,
man. And who do you give it?
Like, of course. I already said before, these 3 were for me, the outstanding individuals. And Messi, he's pretty much carried this Barcelona attack pretty much for the whole season. I mean, without him their offense would be pretty much non-existent. So Messi, obviously, is the best, yeah. And he's also Golden Boot, so he has the productivity as well. So yeah, he's the best. He deserves the Ballon d'Or.
All right, Jujuman, your 3. Ford, your 3, Ballon d'Or 3.
I quickly just want to say, if anybody has any pictures of Tottenham players crying,
Sorry, I was.
Oh
wait,
yeah,
wait,
go
sorry,
Juju,
I was talking and my mic was muted. Sorry. So
go for it.
wait, what's it called? I think I will go with the Messi because he's the best player. He's just good. I mean, I can't do anything about it. I don't like the guy, but he's the best. And he probably deserves I think this guy is a freak of nature. He deserves another Ballon d'Or because he's just individual performance has been on top. Oh yeah, his individual performance has been on top, and then third one, second one is, I mean, third one I'll go with Hazard. The main reason is because of that. Second Van Dijk, and then third one is Hazard because of the main reason is, I mean, this Chelsea team overachieved. Based on that team, I mean, I don't rate them, and they overachieved. And the one key with Hazard is, I mean, the one reason I don't mention Mbappe, even though he has some impressive numbers, is that moment against United, the second half where he failed. I mean, I mean, Champions League is where we test how good someone is. I mean, you can get away with being a fraud in the league. I mean, and then Champions League is when you face quality players, and the more he failed against the team that Man United are not, I mean, one of the top teams, but he failing against them, I don't know if you're among the best in the world. So that's my key. And Hazard, my main focus on Hazard is, I mean, he's his abilities on the ball, and I think he's improving. His influence across the field, he's good. And the first time I noticed this guy has it is, I started giving him credit was that World Cup. I think he's improved, and I'll say he's the third best. Yeah.
Okay. So there's and who do you give it to? So you'd give it to the Argentine flop, Messi.
Yep. I'll have to give it to Messi. I mean, I'm trying to be objective these days because I changed. All right. But Messi is he's good. He's too good. I can't do anything.
Like the guy, you're gonna still go give it to me. All right. Ford.
Yeah, but he's just too good.
We've talked. Ford, who's your 3?
Yeah, before I get to my 3, if anybody has any pictures of Spurs players crying, please tweet that. You can at me on Twitter. My handle is _100. And thank you. Okay. Yeah, and are we asking for the top 3 for Ballon d'Or, which is at the calendar year, or the end of season, which is called the best player? Because those are 2 different awards.
No, Ballon d'Or. No, just the Ballon d'Or. The best player. I don't care what the best player. Just who would be your final 3, your best 3 based on the football season.
Okay, I mean, I'm quite of a stickler because the Ballon d'Or is technically that's the end of the calendar year. But even still, regardless, the best players I've seen this season. Number 3, you got to put Hazard in there. Again, for me, I watch him week in, week out. Again, when you see the fact that on the other side is Willian and Pedro, you don't have to worry about that. You definitely don't have to worry about Barkley or Kovacic running forward. You don't have to worry about Higuain whatsoever or Morata, who's playing with this season. And he's still got the most assists. He's still being not double teamed. He's being triple teamed in matches. And I've seen him still produce the productivity. Obviously, just being an amazing player that he is, evading tackles, creating chances, scoring goals, being a match winner for his team. Coming third in the most competitive league that we've seen this season. Not only beating the 2 Champions League finalists in domestic competition as well, knocking out both Liverpool and Tottenham in domestic competition. So, again, Hazard has to be the top 3. Number 2, it's harsh on Mane not to be in the top 3, but because he scored a lot of clutch goals for Liverpool this season. But I'm gonna go Van Dijk number 2 and Messi number 1. And yeah, Messi's got to win it. Even though we hold him to a higher standard, let's say it was somebody else doing Messi's numbers, we'd give it to him. So we can't really be unfair and not give it to Messi. So Messi's got to get it.
All right, so Hazam, so Salah, I know is in there. Who are the other 2 after apart from
Lewandowski and Piontek?
No, Lewandowski's 4th, but
oh my god!
I think this is the first time in like 10 years that Ronaldo's not in the top 3. He's not gonna be. So I'm gonna say number 1. I have to give it to Van Dijk ahead of Messi, because look, if Messi won the domestic double, I probably would have given to him. But I know he scored in the Copa del Rey final, but most of the game he just wasn't there. So Van Dijk overall, I think he has. I saw the stat today. 0 times been dribbled past in 64 games for all competitions this season. I mean, that's unbelievable, and he's really been amazing. And number 2 has to be Messi, and number 3 gonna have to be Salah.
Yeah. We know who your number 3
because,
is. All right. No.
In the Premier League.
You've already explained. All right, super chat before I get to Liverpool, everybody. Martin Rosario says Messi has 50 plus goals against a peasant league. Yeah, and only wins La Liga, bottles, Copa del Rey, and Champions League. But you all think he deserves Ballon d'Or? Makes sense. For me, I just feel based on ability and and the quality that he has. No, Judgment, I'll let respond as well, but I'm gonna get to everyone else. So I just think based on his quality, you have to at least put him in there. Hence why I say Van Dijk should win ahead of him, because you do play in a farmers league. Liverpool, everybody, who are your final 3 and why?
Yeah, I got to put Destiny at 3. I think what he's able to do in that team, goals and assists, is you got to put that up there. I think that's good to end this season or to end his career at Chelsea like that was good. I think second is Sterling, and then 1 is Van Dijk. I don't know the last time one player has come in and really just almost single-handedly changed the whole team. You know what I mean? And now he's getting goals as well. And I think Van Dijk's a dude that we were the best in the league from set pieces. And I think if he can get his head on more of those corners, he probably can average double digits goals every season. So I got to give Van Dijk the number 1 spot.
Yes.
Damn. All right. Muntaha, your 3 and why?
Yeah, like first of all, for me, I hate it, man. Like, this is my explanation. For number 3, I'll give to Messi. I'll tell you why. Because if you see Messi away performances, look, I don't care about the La Liga, because if I'll just go with the numbers, Lewandowski has almost same number and Mbappe has the same number.
Thank you.
In the league goals.
Secondly,
if I see away performance, he scored 12 goals. But if I look at position, they are not much quality. And his away game, except Spurs away game, every away game was crap. You can call it United, the way he gave a dope ball to Suarez, but again, I don't think so. He contributed much. Against Lyon, Suarez messed up. Even Messi messed up. So yeah, the only performance on the basis of Messi is really arguable for this top 3. Like, apart from numbers, what people are coming with him is the Liverpool free kick. So I have to make him top 3. And anyways, he should always make top 3 or like top 3 or unless he retires. Yeah. Second is like, I'll tell you why I'm putting Eden Hazard over there. Because if you see the Chelsea point this season in Premier League, okay, they are 72. Like they have more points than Madrid in La Liga. We have 68 points. In a sense, if Eden Hazard comes to our team, by mathematically, we should win the league, La Liga. So this guy is really, like his like the way he plays, the way he offers, and he's carrying your club, bro, HH. So man, 100%. Like he should be, and especially after the performance of Europa League final where people literally write off Chelsea. Nah, man, this guy should be their top 2, man. Like, look. This might change if Salah, like for me, Salah is for if Salah win AFCON Cup and put good performance, then Salah has to be make top 3. Then you have to
Win the
manage it.
Ballon d'Or.
Yeah. No, I won't say win directly because he has to at least score 20 goals in the first half of the season to win the FIFA World Player Award, and I don't think it will be possible for any players in Premier League. Finally, Van Dijk is the winner for me. I'll tell you why. Because this guy single-handedly is difference maker. HH, I don't need to just focus on this season to give my reason why he will win the Ballon d'Or. Look at last season. When he came in January, single-handedly, he made the differences in the numbers, bro. Bro, there's no freaking single player who dribbled past him in the Premier League. Are you kidding me?
And in the Champions League.
Yeah, in the Champions League as well. Bro, it's not a joke. Like, I know he wasn't that good against Barcelona in this first leg. Even though, man, like this guy's performance and this guy's leadership gives too much to Liverpool, man. And the reason Liverpool dominated and the way they came, like, if you see some of the vids, for the second leg, this guy was a main guy for them, bro. Like, in a sense, like, in terms of, leadership, he motivated the players. Oh, my goodness. This guy should win the season Ballon d'Or. If you don't give to Van Dijk, I'm done, man. Because this is, like, at the end of the day, I know it's a popularity-based award.
Wait. Can I go? Go, Double H, let me go.
He should win this award. Go ahead.
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo. After you go for your 3.
Wait. First of all, before I send my topic, I don't know why people are putting Messi. First of all, he picked up the mic. That's all I have to say. And he failed. Secondly,
that's too much disrespect, FG, man. Your agenda is too high, bro. Come on, even I'm Ronaldo fan. But
secondly,
no. People have to talk about the whole mic thing, man. Like, that's
what Secondly, this is Ballon d'Or is a yearly award. We still have Copa America, and we all know he's going to reach the final and lose. So he's going to lose votes there. So there's no way he's making top 3. Top 3 are Van Dijk, Sterling, and Bernardo Silva.
No. Sterling is not making top 3. Sorry, man.
No, what do you mean? He's been the best player in the Premier League.
What are you talking about? Bro. Where is Champions League?
Sterling ahead of Salah.
Give me his Champions League performance.
Ahead of Salah every day.
He scored
every day of the year.
Salah, bro. Sterling can't clean Salah's shoes. What the hell?
Okay,
whatever. Sterling is not top 3, man. Come on. No, but Sterling is not top 3, bro.
Hazard makes top 3.
Champions League winner over here.
Bro, Hazard is not top. Oh my god, bro! No, you tell me that. How come that Chelsea team has more points than Real Madrid? This bum side of Real Madrid. We have the last Ballon d'Or winner. Yeah, look at the score between Real Madrid and Chelsea, bro.
Sterling.
Just to also add to Mutar's point, Hazard has 51% goal contribution to all
made up stat.
No, that's actually
numbers. 51% goal contribution. What the hell does that mean?
I give you facts and you say it's a lie.
Wait. I can literally say the same thing for Ronaldo. He's got half of Juventus goal.
But at the same time,
Ronaldo
got outscored by Quagliarella in 2019. So you have to remove that guy's name. I'm sorry.
Hazard got outscored by Salah. So. And Salah's
Sterling. Salah outscored Sterling. What are you talking about?
Bro. No, wait. First of all,
round us. Who are your 3? Everybody to say their 3.
England.
Okay. So what's it called? Neutral. Give me your 3.
Oh boy.
All right. So real talk. I'm not gonna lie.
I know you're not gonna lie. I know you're gonna tell
the last Hangout.
Laerci will never get into this 3. He should never.
Yes. Let's go.
Because he picked up the mic and he made the biggest lie happen, and he's the biggest liar in history. So yeah. Anyways, I think number 1 is Van Dijk. Just because. Again, I think this season he's not gotten passed by this whole season, and like he's been like unstoppable this whole season, so he's been amazing. Number 2, I'm going to go with I'm gonna go with this guy, Hazard. I'm gonna go with Hazard. This is why I'm saying this. Hazard is a much better close control dribbler than Laerci is. Hazard will win. If he goes to Real Madrid, he will do way better than what Laerci is doing in that Farmers League. Because again,
inject.
Whatever Laerci does in that Farmers League doesn't matter anymore. It's just worthless to me now. And number 3, I'm gonna go with CR7. and this is why.
Oh, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Get the hell
Let
out of
me,
here.
let me
I'm
tell you.
shocked. I'm shocked.
Neutral, don't. Neutral,
Even
don't.
I didn't put it.
No.
Then
Can
go
I
Piontek.
explain myself?
Oh,
Can I
okay,
explain
explain
myself?
yourself, man. And you better explain
Okay.
yourself properly, or I'll throw you out.
I
Can
am
I
shocked.
explain myself?
We should-
Can I explain myself? CR7 individually, what he did in that round of 16s, I didn't think he was going to do it against an Atletico side who literally is the best defense in like the whole La Liga. They have one of the best back fours this season. And CR7 scored 3 goals.
Fair enough.
3 goals in that second leg against the biggest back four in La Liga. That's not easy to do. I know, yes, he got knocked out by Ajax. I know that, no question about it. But you also have to think about it this way. He scored in the first leg and he scored in the
They're
second
coming
leg.
for you.
Did Laessi score in the first leg against Manchester United? No. He only knows how to score in the Camp Nou. Even in the semi-finals against Liverpool, he only scored in the Camp Nou. That's Messi's masterclass in the Camp Nou. His hotspot is Camp Nou. But for Ronaldo, he scored away and home against Ajax in both legs.
And not to mention, he could win a Nations League, an international
Exactly.
trophy.
You see, exactly. He could win.
Netherlands are winning Nations League.
Like,
Okay?
see, and the thing for Van Dijk, if Van Dijk wins the Nations League, that's even.
And
a
if
bigger
Salah
deal.
wins
So
AFCON,
Chich, you get my point, right? My point is that look, I understand what you guys are saying that Laessi had a better individual performance and so forth, but come on, are you really gonna rate people like Betis? Are you really gonna rate people like Guinness? Are you really gonna
you
rate
were rating them.
These are all
Put some
crap
respect on
teams,
Getafe's
bro.
name.
Huh?
Put some respect on Getafe's name.
They're
Getafe.
all crap. They're defense. La Liga. We all know La Liga has
We're
the
literally
worst
praising
defense
them.
in football's history.
Wait,
All the
wait,
teams are-
sorry. I gotta bring something up. When everybody, wait.
Yeah,
I gotta bring something up. Now, this has to be said. When everybody's saying the league is the best league in the world, why is everybody saying it's a trash, it's a
It's
farmers
not the
league?
best league. It's the Premier League.
Wait,
Best.
But I'm saying for everybody that was
doesn't
saying
have a
it's the most technical league and all
It's
that.
only Kate.
Technical does not mean the best.
Wait, let me finish.
Wait, original base, your thoughts. Give us. Give me
Come on, man.
Nah, you deserve it.
original base. Give me a 3. Give me a 3. Give me a 3.
He's
Van
gone.
Dijk, Sterling,
Salah.
and Hazard.
Oh man, what's wrong with you?
Nobody.
No. Let me finish. Even though I put Hazard top 5, based on this season, Hazard has balled. Hazard has balled, and he's dragged Chelsea to a Europa League and won it. So you can't really go at Hazard and say he hasn't done the job.
I'm sorry. Sorry, he won that Europa League.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, so now you're an advocate for sorry, yeah?
Sorry should win the Ballon d'Or. Sorry should win the
Final
Ballon
thing,
d'Or.
guys. Final thing before we leave. This
I
is
see you.
people have been asking for it in the chats. Brick door. Who have been your 3 top bricks? So
it's gonna be good.
I know mine.
Wow.
Wait. Is this only players or both managers and coaches?
Wow.
Just okay. Keep it for players only. So
Wait. Nah. We have to do managers, man.
no. Okay. Maybe do okay. So my 3 bricks for players. Morata.
Yeah.
Ashley Young.
Yes, that's big shout.
And because of the anger he caused me, Harry Kane.
Ooh.
Can you give a criteria for brick? How do we choose?
What is it?
Can you give a criteria? How do we choose the?
No. Basically, the worst of the worst based on this past season. Based on the past season, who have been the 3 most useless players? So for me, Morata, Ashley Young. Oh my gosh! You know what?
The doctor himself.
I was gonna put in Geddes, but what Harry Kane did in this final is so egregious. It is so disrespectful, and because the Champions final, I'm going to say Morata, Ashley Young, and Harry Kane. Mane, your bricks.
My bricks are Higuain is first, Arsenal Football Club is second, and third, I'm gonna put Neymar for being so weak and getting injured every year, making excuse. Gain some weight. How can you weigh 140 pounds at that? Expect not to get injured playing against like this big ass man. It's impossible. So
okay. Sorry. Second. So who are your 3 again?
So Higuain's first, Arsenal Football Club second, and then I'll put Neymar just because he fails every year.
Okay. Actually, you know what? Scratter, someone actually reminded me. Dr. Marcus Alonso is
There
going
we
to
go.
Morata. So Morata is so Dr. Marcus Alonso, Ashley Young, and Harry Kane. All right, Nish, your bricks.
Okay, yeah. First is Gonzalo Guedes from Valencia.
Yes.
Secondly is Alexis Sanchez.
Oh my
That's
God.
another big shout.
No,
How did we forget about him?
So many bricks. How did I forget? Oh my gosh, there's so many bricks. Okay, yeah.
So many.
and third is Mesut Ozil.
Whew.
And did you know something? No, did you know something?
Guys, the
Ozil
brick
actually.
is gonna be
Let me
impossible
explain. Let me explain. Did you know that? Did you know that Ozil has fewer assists than Alexis Sanchez?
Sanchez, that was the crazy stat I saw. I was
So
screaming.
Ozil, Sanchez, and Guedes easily, bro.
Okay. Sorry, before I go to Judgment Man, so from Machine, what up, Machine? He says, so we're really gonna give the Mike Picker the Ballon d'Or for winning La Liga in a year where the only serious competitor was Real Madrid, who are in tatters. Have some sense.
Preach.
Look, man. Okay. I still think I know it's a farmer's thing, but look, he has been money, and it was money in the CL as well. Judgment Man,
How?
your
He
break.
failed.
Give me a 3
Alright. My bricks are, I'll put Arsenal FC as the one brick, and I'll put Alexis Sanchez too, and wait Harry Kane, and get ready for this, the brick of this tournament is Gianluigi Buffon. That's the worst goalkeeper.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
I forgot. Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Give, I'm not even joking. Like, he gave Lukaku a free goal in that second one when Rashford scored. Like, that has to be the break of. He has to be in the Brick Academy because his time is up. People say he's a legend. I don't think so. I disagree. But that was arguably one of the worst performance in this. No, it was, apart from Harry Kane, it was the worst performance in this Champions League by a goalkeeper.
Okay. All right. FG.
Oh yeah. First, I'm gonna give it to Allegri. Thank God this fraud is gone. Secondly, I'm gonna give it to DeShiglio. He's another one of Allegri's fuckboys, and he's finally gone too. Third,
Alexandro.
Third is Sandro. Just all the shit players at Juventus. I'm putting all bricks.
This isn't a bloody
Shameless.
No, I've suffered for one whole year. I'm putting all of them as bricks.
Okay, fair enough. Look, that's okay. Wow. All right, and forward, your bricks, man.
Oh, and there's a lot. First and foremost, it has to be Dr. PhD Marcus Alonso for not also being trash on the pitch, but also catching the body off the pitch. Let's say about that the better. Allegedly. Secondly, I want to give it to AC Milan. You know, I'm going to be nice to We'll leave AC Milan alone for a second, innit? I'm going to give it to Coutinho. Like, come on. You were the biggest expenditure of money in the last, 2 years or so, 140 million, excluding Mbappe, and you've been a complete flop, a complete and utter flop. So, yeah, he's got to be in there. And thirdly, yeah, Gigi took the name out of my mouth, man. It has to be Buffon. For not only costing PSG their one important game of the year, but also wasting a year of Tosin's life. Shout out Tosin, my brother.
All right. So before I go to Hazem, Machine says Barcelona and Messi are bricks of the century for overseeing the greatest botch job in history. Sorry, the greatest botch job was done by PSG twice. Miracle at Camp Nou and the game against United. PSG are the biggest botch jobs. Hence why they have a wing in their academy. Hazem, your 3 bricks.
Okay. The first brick is Mr. Mauro Icardi for the tantrum he threw in the middle of the season and gained absolutely nothing. The second would be Niko Kovac for costing the best striker in the world zero service against Liverpool and defensive tactics and costing Bayern the Champions League campaign. Third, this is a tough one. I won't give it to Gattuso. I'll give it to
Allegri.
Dembele for that miss.
What? Oh,
yeah.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
That miss alone.
Dembele's 120 million.
I'm sorry, that
million,
miss.
you don't miss that.
You could have canceled your whole season. That miss was the one that mattered, and that was such a horrible miss. I've never.
Not to mention, people talk about Coutinho's price tag. Dembele is 120 million. People forget that.
Dembele has to be a brick for that one.
No, that's egregious. That's an egregious comment. Did you see Dembele's form from January to March before he got injury?
Canceled with that miss.
That's
He's
an
like,
egregious comment.
Wait, did you see him on the bench the whole season?
no.
I did
So
too.
Barcelona cannot hold a 3-0 lead. That's what they say. So that they have to go into the second leg for 4-0. Do you know how much losers you are where you can't hold a 3-0? You're a
put it on Dembele. No, that's
all right.
You can't blame them for that.
Muntak,
Yeah.
give me your 3 bricks.
Number 3 would be for sure, man. Deshilio, man. This guy,
Yes. Thank God.
bro. This guy's joke of right back, bro. Bro, you know why? You know
He's
why?
worse
I'm
than
giving
Ashley
third-
Young.
No, you know what? Guys, listen.
That's a tough one, you know.
Why I'm giving him a third spot? Because literally, yeah, Diego Costa, who's one of the slowest striker in world football, was like passing him, and was like literally outpaced him, bro. Are you kidding me, bro? Come on, man.
I love this football. Jesus Christ.
Wait, okay. So who are your other 2, man?
Yeah, my second would be A1 Football Club.
Hey, man, like A1, you know, man went ghost.
Okay, so who's your third man? So you've given it to a club, you've given it to a guy who can't beat Giroud.
Yeah. No. Now the greatest of all time, for this breakdown. For sure, it's going to be Coutinho, man.
Oh my
Because,
God.
bro, you are the 3rd most expensive player in the history of football.
No. Excuse me, no, that's fine. He's not the 3rd most expensive.
He's 3rd.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
Third.
No way.
No, it's Neymar, as in
Mbappe.
Mbappe, yeah, and Coutinho. So like he's go top.
You're telling me that a guy who's in class B on the Brick Academy is the 3rd most expensive. Wait, how can you sleep on that? How can you be in class B?
He sleeps in his $1 million mansion.
Oh my God.
Okay, all right, cool. That's fair. All right,
That's it.
Who are your 3 bricks? Who are your 3 bricks, bro?
You telling me?
Yeah, you.
Liaisi.
Okay.
Oh no! Neutral. If you say Messi, then I know that you're smoking crack. So don't.
I mean, come on now, though. Come on. Number 1 has to go to the guy who can't even keep a promise. He's not reliable. You can't trust him ever in your life in a big game. Liaisi FC, Liaisi the player. They're both number 1.
Agenda.
Before you carry on, Messi, if you're listening, you realize that based on what you did, an entire man left your club to join AC Milan, who finished what, 5th or 6th in Serie A?
Champions League.
You know what it means to go from Messi to Suso?
There's a reasoning.
Neutral. Okay, who are your other 2, bro? Who are your other 2 bricks, man?
Okay. The second one, and I'm sorry to say, I'm gonna give it to the Barcelona board.
Everyone.
They are so bad. They are so bad.
Wait, I couldn't hear. Who did you give it to?
The Barcelona board. Yeah, they're so bad.
Everyone at Barcelona's getting smoked today.
Because this is what I see.
Wait, neutral. Is this like your therapy session or?
No, I'm being dead serious, HH.
This sounds like this sounds very.
If your club cannot score, you scored 3 goals in the first leg. You cannot score 1 goal. 1 goal in Anfield.
Oh God.
1 goal in Anfield. Then there's something psychological happening in your brain. You need to get checked up. Like you need serious psychiatrist in your boardroom. And let's go for this because the board, the players, they need it. You know, these guys need it.
Neutral.
So I'm calling them FC Barcelona from now.
Neutral.
That's their new name.
Neutral. Who is your 3rd brick?
Okay.
The Barcelona.
My 3rd brick is I would say. Hey, let's see who it is.
Pick somebody outside of Barcelona.
He's
Okay.
not, man.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go with this guy. Napoli.
This guy.
The Napoli FC club. Napoli FC club.
Why?
Oh, he's talking about Milik.
They
Oh,
are so bad. Like you guys, didn't they win the first 2 games in the group stage or something like that?
Yeah.
And they were second, and they were first, and you lose, and you get dumped out of the group stage. I'm sorry, man. You're just such a brick. You're the biggest ballerist in history.
Okay. All right. Original base, take us out, man. Your 3 bricks.
oh my god. Third, Ashley Young. Oh my god, that guy. Oh, I think they said all the crosses that he's made in the Prem, it's not hit the target once.
He's never put in a good
successful cross
season.
Alexis Sanchez, because how could my man be on the bench 400k and be getting 75k for every appearance?
Disgusting.
First has to be Coutinho. Has to be Coutinho for the price he went and the fact that he left Liverpool to win the Champions League and they got it.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's mad.
Wait, one player I almost forgot. Gareth Bale. This was supposed to be his breakout season. And
Oh wait! I forgot one player too. Luka Modric, worst Ballon d'Or winner.
Wait, let's go to some super chats. So from Gatlock, thank you for the super chat, Gatlock. He says his bricks are Gedesh, United excluding Pogba, PSG excluding Mbappe and Verratti. Oh, including Neymar then. And Barcelona excluding the Us,
excluding
Stegen and Arthur. Arsenal, Atletico, Dortmund, Real Madrid.
Ollie's at the wheel.
Guys,
Ollie's at the wheel.
It's been swell.
One more super chat.
What?
There's one more super chat. George Lyle.
All right. Yeah. So sorry. Thank you. So from George Lyle, thank you for the super chat, George, who says his so these are his bricks. What the hell is Steve Mooney? Okay. Well, Mustafi, yep. Ozil, yep. And manager of the year has to be. It's between Klopp and Pep. I would argue maybe Pep because of the 3 titles. Say Pep. I'd have to say Pep. So guys, just to say that I am going on holiday next week. So I need a break. It's the end of the season. The Hangouts will be back strong next Sunday as we build up to the Copa America and build up to the Nations Cup. So the Hangouts will be back. There'll be no Hangout this Sunday, but there'll be a Hangout next Sunday. But just to say, guys, thank you guys for tuning into the Hangouts. Thank you to the panel. It has been great for us being this Sunday. Sundays have been amazing doing it with you guys. We've had some amazing laughs, amazing insights, and I hope that we've provided some great entertainment for you guys out there. And I hope that you've appreciated the kind of entertainment, the love, and everything. So even if Mane or Jujuman or Nude felt crazy, as much as you hate them, at the end of the day, you still pretty much love them. So guys, thank you very much for everything. Peace out, stay true, and I'll see you guys next Sunday. Peace.
Peace.